Hello everyone, how are you? Today I welcome you to the long-awaited second season of What If Naruto Was Ignored by His Family and Made a Contract with the KITSUNE'S. If you want more seasons, let me know in the comments. Now then, enjoy.
9. Forest of Death Complications. It was time for the first part of the Chunin exams, which was the written part of the exams. The room filled with genin was also filled with a number of ninja to unnerve the genin. They had clipboards and pens in their hands, looking at the genin with judging eyes. Find a seat. You mustn't sit with your teammates. Split yourselves up, Ibiki said. Naruto, Sori, and Yakumo looked at each other in confidence before splitting up. Naruto sat in the middle of the room with Hinata and that Suna girl, Temari, while Sori sat at the back of the room with Shikamaru and that Hyuga boy, and Yakumo got stuck with random Kirinin and a blonde Kumo girl. Naruto looked down as Kichiro, who looked up at him. Naruto, earlier, I smelled something on that Kabuto guy. He smelled like snakes. Kichiro whispered to him. Naruto widened his eyes but nodded his head at his familiar. He decided to keep quiet for now, but inside his head he was in turmoil. Why the hell would he smell like snakes? Just who the hell is that guy? Naruto-kun? Naruto turned his head towards the timid Hyuga on his right as she poked her fingers together. Let's do our best. Okay? Naruto nodded at her and smiled slight smile. Right? Good luck, Hyuga-san. Hinata frowned a bit. It's okay to CC call me Hinata dash. Hey handsome. Temari spoke on his left, unknowingly or uncaringly cut of the Hyuga before she finished her statement and getting the attention of the Kitsune clan member. Oh, it's you from before. What's your name? Temari, right? The girl smiled as she winked at him, getting two glares. One from the Hyuga near them and the other from the Uchiha girl from the back of the room. Sori watched from afar as that girl played games on her teammate, with that flirty look in her eyes. Oh, that bitch is going down. Temari smiled at him. Got it in one, Naruto-kun. Say, when this is all over, maybe you and I can, go do something? Naruto, being as oblivious as ever, nodded his head. Sure, we can. I can show you around Konoha whenever we can get a break from the Chunin exams. Hearing that, Hinata fumed inwardly. That bitch. Temari grinned. Great. That would be amazing, Naruto-kun, but for now, good luck. Naruto nodded his head while Ibiki then began to speak. All right, listen up. My colleagues will be handing out a test to each of you. Each of you will answer 9 questions correctly. If you are caught cheating more than 5 times, the cheater and the other team members will be disqualified. Your points add up with your teams, so each member better pull their weight, cause if even one team member fails, they all fail. Yakumo gulped. She did not want to be the reason both Naruto and Sori failed the exams, so she'll try her absolute best. All right, begin. Naruto looked down at the questions that was given to him and widened his eyes. What kind of fucking questions are these? These kind of questions would have even the third Hokage looking stupid, and he is a professor, Naruto thought. He watched the room, and to see even a few genin were looking dumbfounded at the questions, and some were looking quite content in finding answers. Kurama, you got anything? What the hell? No. How the fuck would I know? You big useless fox. Around for hundreds of years, and yet can't answer a few Chunin exams questions. The fuck are you here for? Munch me, bitch. I said I don't know, and that's final. You're on your own, Kit. With that, Kurama cut off the link between them, so Naruto was left alone. Fuck. He was left looking at the questions in stupor. Just what the hell was this test? Temari looked at the blonde hunk and smiled. Well, handsome, you can take a look at my answers if you want, just as long as you can repay me by taking me out. Hinata frowned. Why you can look at my answers, T2 and Naruto-kun. Naruto looked at both females before realizing it himself. Aha! He shouted, earning the attention of the proctor. Quiet, Genin Uzumaki. Strike 1 for Team 12. Naruto glared the Freddy Krueger like ninja while Temari chuckled. You bastard, it's Kitsune. He mumbled before turning to glance at the sand kunoichi and the Hyuga's answers and copied. Sori, though sighing at her teammate's stupidity, was also going through a tough time but realized something. She glanced around the room, noticing the Chunin judges. The answer racked around in her brain. She just tried to find it. Why the hell are there judges here in a test that practices no cheating rules? If there were no cheating rules placed, they should have outright just disqualified us. Unless. Sayori widened her eyes, figuring out the answer. She glanced at her teammates across the room and sighed. I just hope they figure it out too. Yakumo was also going through it with the questions. She didn't get any of them, but luckily, she used her genjutsu on someone to be able to have them share their answers without them even realizing it. The three genin were writing down the heavy as they used their own ways in getting the answers. An hour and a half later, Ibiki opened his mouth. All right, brats, time's up. Now let's answer the 10th question. The students looked eager to answer the question, but Ibiki spoke. Yes, but there's one catch. Why is there even a 10th question to begin with? Kiba yelled. Ibiki glared at the Inuzuka, making the boy sweat under his tense look. Shut up, mutt. It's because I say so. What are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna fight me? Kiba kept quiet with Akamaru whimpering, getting Kichiro from Naruto's Hayori to snicker. Anyway, to start off before I was so rudely interrupted, each team will have a chance to answer the 10th question. If any of your team members decides they rather not answer it, the whole team fails. The room began to go tense. But, Ibiki continues, if you all chose to answer it and get it wrong, you and your team are to fail and never take the Chunin exams again. That left the genin in the room nervous as hell. What the hell? Are you serious? Ino shouted. Right? That's bullshit. Akiri team member shouted. You can't do that. My father is the Hokage. He'll have your head. Naruko shouted with Menma yelled as well from a different part of the room. Exactly. Choose your next words wisely, Ibiki, he said, mocking the man's name. Naruto slapped his forehead. Those two idiots. There are IWA genin in the room, and they have the nerve to actually boast their name like they don't hold a grudge or any genin team that's not from Konoha entirely. Oh God. He sighs as watched as a few other genin leave the room. Nearly half the teams couldn't take the stress and decided to leave and try again the following year. Naruto looked at Sayori and Yakumo and they looked back at him and each other. We're not backing down. They remained seated and stared intently at the proctor who only watched as half the room had left. So those of you who chose to stay, are you ready for the question? The room stayed dead silent at the proctor and had no fear. Well, that was most of them. Ibiki saw the room and felt their energy and he grinned. Well, you all passed the first round. The room was silent before an uproar was heard. What? Ibiki smiled. Yep. You all passed. You showed determination in the heat of uncertainty and pushed on ahead. I'm mostly impressed with the members of Team 12 of Konoha, said team members eyed the man. I saw how you all looked at each other before anything. You had each other's backs and only pushed forward when you knew each other were ready. You showed a strong sense of teamwork I haven't seen in a long while. Most come to this test with the thought of every man for themselves. You three came in with the thought of each other and that's what mattered. But everyone did well. You all have strong will and great gathering skills. Sayori smirked. So it was to gather information without getting caught. Ibiki nodded. Yes, well, now we must move on to the next dash. And here I am. A blur broke through the windows and slammed her body on the desks, in a very revealing pose that had the male genin besides Naruto, blushing up a storm. I am the one and only, sexy and single, Anko Mitarashi, your second proctor for the second stage of the exams, she said. Anko-sensei, Yakumo shouted, surprised to see her sensei as a proctor. Anko glanced at her and her two other students and smiled a small smile that was only there for a split second before turning to her regular sadistic grin. It was all the genin of Team 12 needed, smiling as they got the message. It was smile that said a lot. You made it. I'm proud of you guys. Well, Ibiki, you have aged. There's a lot more genin than I originally thought there would be. Ibiki turned to Naruto. Well, we've got some good brats this year. Anko scoffed but inwardly really happy. Well, we'll see. All right, brats to training ground 44. Get your asses there, and if you're late, it's automatic disqualification. She then used Shunshin to leave. The genin began to file out, and when Sayori was behind Naruto, ready to greet him with a smirk, Temari slid in, getting Naruto's attention. So, I hope you're ready to pay up, Naruto-kun. That date better be good. With that, she left the classroom with her brothers L, leaving Team 12 there. Sayori stood there in shock, and Yakumo watched in sadness as she saw the Uchiha's destroyed face. You're taking her out. On a date. Naruto turned his head to see Sayori eyeing him with anger and a little bit of betrayal. Well, I guess so. I mean, she did give me her answers to the test, so I do owe her. Why? Do you have a problem with it or something? Sayori, though Naruto couldn't tell, closed her eyes so she can calm down and hide her tears of heartbreak and anger. And no, it doesn't. Let's just get to the training grounds before we get disqualified. With that, Sayori brushed past Naruto, damn near knocking him over as she left the room. Kichiro, with his advanced hearing, can hear her sniffles from down the hall. Naruto turned to Yakumo. What's up with her? Yakumo sighed as she moved to the door. You know, Naruto, you're maybe strong and smart, but when it comes to girls, you're clueless. She left, leaving Naruto to the room alone. What did I say? He said, shocked. Ibiki sighed. Remain in the room. You, Gaki, are clueless to girls. You remind me of my idiot brother wherever he is now. Naruto frowned. Yeah, whatever. Oh, before I go, can I ask you to do something? Ibiki nodded his head. Watch out for a guy named Kabuto Yakushi. He's a guy with gray hair in a ponytail and has glasses. He took the exam 7 times now. He has a lot of information about various things of all the villages, including our own shinobi. And Kichiro, my familiar fox here, smelled the scent of snakes on him. Go tell Hokage-sama that maybe he should do something instead of twiddling his fingers around by his desk like an idiot. Naruto ran off to catch his team before Ibiki could scold him about his disrespect of the Hokage, but he nevertheless heeded his warning. With Naruto, as he made it the exam meeting place 10 minutes later, the group was gathered around the gates of the forest. Anko told the team of this forest when they would break from training and how dangerous it was. It was fitting that she would be the one to proctor this part of the exams. Anko saw him space out as he looked at the forest and threw a kunai at him, given she was mentally insane. Naruto quickly drew out his sword and blocked it, but Anko appeared behind him. She cut his cheek and whispered to him. You're spacing out, Naruto-kun, relax. You'll do fine. I have faith in you and your teammates. Naruto grinned at his insane sensei before he shivered once. She locked his cheek clean of blood. Naruto sighed. Kichiro jumped out of the jacket and growled at the newcomer behind the two. Here, Mitarashi-san, your kunai. Naruto sighed as Anko took the kunai. Look, man, lady. You don't want to sneak up on Anko, seriously? Anko locked the kunai. Listen to the boy now. He speaks wisdom, you know. The ninja from what appears to be the land of grass just nods their head and walks back. Creep, the two say as Anko collects herself and speaks. Okay, Gakis, this is how the test will run, but first sign these documents saying that if you die in here, it's on your ass. The genin reluctantly signed the paper, fearing what might happen in this exam. Basically, you will get one of 2 scrolls here, an earth scroll or a heaven scroll. Your task is to get the other scroll you need from another team and get to the tower in, let's say, 5 days. The genin began to panic a little while Anko smirks. Now you see, this part of the exam is to shave half of your numbers. Now, go to your assigned gates and wait there. The mark will start soon. The teams began to go to their assigned gates that they were given. Team 7, Sai Sakura. I don't need you in my way. I'll get through this myself because I'm an Uchiha. It's my destiny. Sakura, although a little hurt, Sasuke said that she would only be in his way, awed at his coolness. Oh, of course, Sasuke-kun. Sai just groaned. Well, Dickless, maybe you should stay out of my way. Sakura turned to him and punched him. Shut the hell up, Sai. Just watch, Sasuke-kun will win this whole thing. But I hope Menma isn't too sad. Maybe I'll cheer him up later, she grinned all lustful-like. Sai watched her with a frown. You can't have both of them, you moronic flamingo. Shut up, teammate. Well, I'm ready to kick this shit off. Aren't you, boy? Akamaru barked in response. Just wait till I see Sasuke in there. I'm gonna beat his ass. Him, Menma, and Naruto too. I'm gonna kick all their asses. Hinata blushed at the language. Let's just relax Kiba-kun, she said with Shino agreeing. Hinata-san is right, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. We aren't the strongest team or the smartest. We'll have to be careful in there. Kiba scoffed. Whatever. Just know if we cross anyone from our previous year, they are going down. Team 9. Are you ready, Neji? Lee? Fate has deemed us to pass. We will not fail. Yes, with the power of my youth, I shall not fail. I will not, but if I do, I will do 1,000 push-ups and dash. Knock it off, Lee. Tenten shouted before she turned to the Hyuga. So, who should we watch out for? Neji frowned. That Tsunade team could be trouble. That Kumo team isn't looking too safe either. One will be a bother due to her enormous chakra reserves, but the team as a whole won't be too bad. And that Konoha team, Team 12. They could prove us trouble as well, but fate will prevail. We shall pass. Team 10. Oh, Forehead Girl is so lucky, having Sasuke-kun all to herself. Well, we just have to win so he'll notice me and not her ugly ass. Ino shouted. Choji sighed. Oh, Ino. Always so worried about her Sasuke when real issues are in front of us. Like food. What the hell are we gonna eat in there? Shikamaru sighed. Relax, Choji, we'll live. I made sure to pack extra barbecue chips before I left. Choji chuckled nervously. Actually, Shikamaru, I ate those. The Nara sighed. Great. This is so troublesome. I should have just stayed home. Shut up, Shikamaru. You're so lazy. Anyway, who are we targeting? The Nara sighed. Well, we should steer clear of Team 7, 9, and 12. They are too troublesome. Everyone else should be good pickings. And we'll steal their food. Shikamaru sighed. He loved Choji, but he was too much. Team 11. I want to go wish Nissan good luck, Naruko said. Forget the loser. He's not going to pass. He's an idiot. Naruko glared at her brother. Believe it or not, but that same idiot saved your worthless-ass life back at Wave after you tried to kill one of his teammates. Hey, I didn't pick up Yakumo, it was Sasuke team. I just happened to be behind him using his action to counter Haku's attack. You still used her and you're garbage for that, Menma? Said Uzumaki didn't even hear her cause he tuned her out. We are attacking any team we come across. No shit, dumbass. We have no choice by then. It's just a matter of who has what scroll we need, Naruko said. We attack. Anyone, he said again, thinking of Naruto. I'ma kill you if I see you in there, you loser. Team 12. Well, are you guys ready? Naruto asked his team. Yakumo responded. Yes, let's do it. Sayori watched Naruto in hatred before glancing at the gates in silence, totally ignoring Naruto. The glare was so bad even Kurama from in his seal winced. Naruto frowned, but just ignoring it altogether. Okay. Well, I think when we get in there, we follow Kichiro-kun. He has the scent of a team who has the heaven scroll. Yakumo smiled before petting the small red fox. Well, aren't you just a genius? Kichiro yipped in excitement. Yeah, I know. I'm a goat. I know. Yakumo looked up. Who should we watch out for? Before Naruto could speak, Sayori spoke. We should head towards that Tsunade team. Fight him, and possibly get killed? No, let's wait and see with them. Sayori glared at Naruto. Why? Protecting your girlfriend or something? Naruto raises an eyebrow in shock while Yakumo sighed, having a feeling this would happen. What? Temari isn't my girlfriend, you moron. Sayori glared harder as her Sharingan flared to life. That's what you want me to believe, you inconsiderate, blind, clueless fuck. Even if she was, why is it any of your goddamn business? Yakumo jumped up. Enough. We have an exam to pass, so argue later. Sayori just settled to glaring at Naruto while the boy just closed his eyes. Anko then began to speak. "All right, go Gakis, go!" she shouted as the gates began to open. The teams charge in from their sides of the gates and run into the forest. Now, Team 12 were better off than most because they had the knowledge of the forest beforehand while everyone else are just figuring everything out for the first time. After finding the best spot after running around for a little while, the three stopped. "All right, so what's the game plan, guys?" Yakumo asked. Sayori spoke. "I say we find teams and beat some ass until we get our scroll." Naruto glared at her. "That's very vague, Sayori, but I agree that's the logical way to do it. Camping out and waiting for a team will take way too long and I want to be out of here as quick as possible. Something don't feel right. Don't worry. Just think about your Suna slut. She'll calm you down," the female Uchiha said. Naruto sighed. "Grow up, Uchiha. Make me Uzumaki." Naruto glared and Yakumo and Kichiro paled at his look. "It's Kitsune, not Uzumaki. Guys, not now. We have to pass this test," Yakumo yelled. "Yakumo-chan is right, Naruto. Argue later," Kichiro shouted. The two sighed, but a glare from Sayori told him that she was still pissed off. "All right, my bad. So anyway, my plan is to use Kichiro-kuin's snout." The Uchiha looked at the proud fox as it jumped out the jacket and raised its nose in the air in superiority, much to her slight amusement as it was kinda cute. Yakumo didn't restrain herself from petting him. "Awu, of course he's the key to our plan." "Yes, you are." "Yeah, I know. I'm important," the fox said with a happy smile, getting Naruto to sigh. His fox was too much at times and the Kurama clan member only fueling his ego. He'll get a bigger head than Kurama. "Fuck you. You're just jealous of my awesome power." Yeah. Kurama. Shut your ass up. I'm over it. So fucking disrespectful. "Okay. I see, but how are we going to use Kichiro?" Sayori asked. "As I said back there, we'll use him to track the scrolls. When we were given our scroll, I had him sniff one of the teams that was given a heaven scroll. It was a simple IWA team, so we should get them." Yakumo heard that. "Well, are you sure? We'll be engaging a team from the village who has an ultimate hatred for the Hokage, and while you deny it, Naruto, the man is your father and they know that. You even look like the man." Naruto smirked. "Thanks for the concern, Yakumo, but I got it, don't worry. Now let's go. Lead the way, Kichiro." The fox began to sniff and yip. "This way." With that, the team was after the scent of the IWA team. With Team 11, "Come on, Naruko, we're about to engage them," Menma said as the two were charging through forest with top speed. They were running through the forest with a plan in mind to hopefully find a team with a heaven scroll and kick their asses. Naruko thought it best to maybe hide out and ambush a team since they were at a disadvantage since there is only two of them, but Menma saw it as an advantage since they thought a third teammates would only slow them down since they were the Hokage's children. Secretly though, Menma was hoping to run into Naruto's team so he can kick his ass. He heard about Jiraiya's bet with him and only thought Naruto was more of a fool than he originally thought. He thought he could take him, Menma Uzumaki Namikaze. In his warped little mind, he was easily the strongest of the three children and could easily take down Naruto. He knew that he'll receive training from Jiraiya and Minato, so he'll get even more powerful. Naruto was doomed. Naruko looked at her brother's demented facial features and groaned, probably thinking he's the best again. Though inwardly, she hoped he was. She had also heard of the BT between her Nissan and Jiraiya and grew ecstatic while also nervous. She knew that Menma was at least strong enough to make it to the finals, and when he does, Jiraiya and her father will train him so he'll be a beast. She knew Naruto was strong. Really strong, so that's why she was worried. If Menma loses, she won't ever get the chance to see her Nissan again. That's why she'll get stronger as well, and if she faces him, she'll beat him before he can get to Menma. By doing this, she's also saving her family, in her own way of thinking. She would gone on longer in her thoughts, but soon they crossed paths with a team. It was a team from Kumo. "Haha, well, just my luck. I was hoping I get the chance to hold my own against you too," one of the Kumo kunoichi with red hair said. "Karui, relax. What if you kill them and the Hokage starts a war with Kumo and then they kill B-sensei and then kills Reikage-sama and then we dash? Oh, shut up, OMOI, Karui said, interrupting the silver-haired Kumo-nin. Will both of you shut up? The blonde one said. The two behind her shut up instantly as they glanced the other member. Sorry, Yujito, but you know how he gets. Menma smirked. So Yujito, huh? Well, gorgeous. How about you give up your scroll and I'll give you a fate when this is over? Naruko groaned. Could he be more of a pervert? Yujito ignored the question, sizing up two of them. She spoke finally after glancing at them. You're outnumbered. You're in our hands. What scroll do you have? That is none of your business, Naruko shouted. I see, she spoke before she let powerful chakra flow through her. Her hair, which was in a long ponytail, broke free and waved proudly in the air, kind of like how Kushina would be if she gets mad. She grew claws on her hands and she crouched in a pouncing position. Then I'll have to take it by force. Omoi and Karui looked at each other and shrugged, letting Yujito take care of this one as they laid back and watched. They'll step in if they need to. Yujito jumped to them with speed that was something they've only seen their father move at and moved to scratch them up with a claw, but Menma created shadow clones and charged at her. Yujito easily dealt with them and with great flexible taijutsu strikes. Menma took the time to grab his sister, jump back and eye the Kumo-nin. Yujito landed in front of them on the ground and watched them. Please don't tell me that's all you have. A half-assed shadow clone attack? Come on, I thought you were the Hokage's children? Surely he taught you better than that, she taunted. Menma charged right into the attack. Oh yeah. Menma engaged her while her sister sighed. I can't let him go alone, she said as she ran into. She sent a punch straight to Menma's face, which shook his very body to how much power it held. She kicked him back after he was stunned, launching him in a tree. Menma! Naruko cried out before she saw Yujito charge in her face before kicking her back into a tree too. So these are the Hokage's children? I can't believe you are both this weak. Karui looked up from her branch and scoffed. These guys are so trash. Thank God we let Yujito waste the chakra on them. She has so much to spare, and they're not even worth it. Omoi agreed. Who was it that she wanted to fight again? He asked. Yujito turned to them. The blonde one. Naruto, I think his name was. He looked strong. Can't say the same for his brother and sister. That did it for Menma. So Yujito wasn't even originally after them. She wanted his lame-ass brother. What the fuck? What makes him so fucking special? He thought before he felt a boost of chakra. Menma got up and wiped the blood off his face. Who are you calling weak? He said as charged all his chakra to make a dome of chakra around him. He made the familiar hand sign, overcharging it with his chakra. Shadow Clone Jutsu. When that happened, thousands of Menmas were around Yujito. Even the blonde was shocked. Well, come on. Menma charged as all the clones charged in, but Yujito, who was shocked, grew ready. She then grew her nails in her feet along with her hands and got in her taijutsu stance. As the clones neared her, they were destroyed as easily as they were created. Yujito was slashing and stabbing as many clones as possible, clearly was used to this kind of assault. The thing that terrified the Konoha genin was that they had yet to see any actual jutsu from this monster. She's a monster. If this keeps up, we'll be at a disadvantage. Naruko now. The female Uzumaki then charged her chakra up and pulled out the Uzumaki's greatest and rarest weapon. Chakra chain. Naruko had luckily inherited her mother's special chakra that was able to tame a tailed beast. She didn't have the strength or the technique to wield it like her mother, but she still had the skill to make them appear. She swung the chains at Yujito, but the Kumo-nin dodged graciously. Menma saw the strained look on his sister's face, meaning she's nearing her limit on the chains. He decided to use his remaining clones to help capture her. Menma attacked her when she was dodging the chains, and the Kumo-nin was growing rapidly annoyed. She began to go through handsets and she spat out multiple balls of hair that sparked in blue flames. It was targeted at all the Menma clones while she charged at Naruko, intending on taking her ass out. Naruko grew nervous as she was nearing bit close, but Menma charged at her from above. Leave her alone, He sent a punch to her head, but Yujito swiftly turned around to counter him, but Naruko utilized that opportunity. Yujito grabbed Menma's forearm, but Naruko punched her back, making her arch, allowing Menma to headbutt her nose, breaking it. Naruko then leg-seeped her while Menma kicked her back. Naruko used this chance to grab Yujito by the chains and subdued her. Menma and Naruko panted in success. "Damn! We did it dash!" That was the sound Naruko heard from behind her as her brother was sliced by a katana at his back, causing the genin to scream in pain. Omoi grabbed Menma as the genin was bleeding out. Karui pointed a sword at Naruko back as she was facing Yujito. The two Kumo nins moved quick and easily made their victory meaningless. "Yeah. We're still here." Karui smiled viciously. The siblings cursed. They had forgotten about them in the heat of the moment. They really were at a disadvantage without a third team member. Karui searched Naruko's person while Omoi did Menma, but the male Kumo nin found the Earth Scroll on Menma. "Great! An Earth Scroll. Just what we need." He then began to press his sword on Menma's neck. Karui turned to Naruko. "Now, let go of Yujito or we kill you and your brother." Naruko sighed. Now one would think, why don't they use Kyuubi's chakra to end these guys? It's because they can't. Minato didn't want neither Menma or Naruko to have an accident in the exams and channel its chakra and kill anyone, so he placed a seal on the two so they can't access its chakra and only their own, and both Menma and Naruko were out of chakra from such chakra-taxing jutsu. Naruko, whether she wanted to or not, let go of the chains because of her lack of chakra and dropped to the ground. Omoi kicked Menma to the girl as he landed face first while Karui went to get Yujito. The blonde Kumo nin stood up and looked at the two. "Not bad. Not entirely good, but not bad. Thanks for the scrolls. Don't worry, you still have 5 days. I suggest you take a breather," she scoffed as she and her teammates were off to the tower, being one of the first people to get there, leaving the Uzumaki siblings to their humiliating defeat. With Team 12. Team 12 was following Kichiro for a long while now as he was navigating the way to the IWA team. The team was silent as they let the Kit concentrate on the scent and not confuse him with conversations. "Oh Kit, I just wanted to let you know. Gaara isn't the only Jinchuriki in this exam." Naruto widens his eyes. "What? Who else?" "That blonde Kumo nin, the one that goes by Yujito. She's the container of the Nibi, named Matatabi. And you wait to tell me this now. I haven't even seen her yet." Kurama sighed. "You have. It's just you haven't noticed her, but you've seen her. Just watch out for her," was all he said before going quiet. Naruto sighed as he felt Kurama cut the link. Yakumo asked, "What's up?" "Nothing, just thinking." Sayori looked back but didn't utter a word. Kichiro still focused on the scent but was blinded by a scent of something else. What is that?" "What is what?" Naruto asked. "It smells like blood and it's right ahead of us. Hide." The genin grew nervous of what was happening but none the less took the opinion of the fox and hide. In front of them was a man with sickly long black hair with snake-like eyes and ghost-white skin, while in front of him was a beaten-up Anko. What Kichiro was smelling was her blood. "Oh no," Sayori said. Yakumo turned to Naruto. "What do we do?" "We stay put, that's what." "Do you know who that is?" The two shook their head. "That is the third member of the Sannin, Orochimaru. He's a missing nin of Konoha. We can't just recklessly attack him. Just wait. We'll save Sensei if we act right." The two nodded their heads as they just readied themselves as they just watched. Orochimaru was laughing sickly as Anko lay defeated from their battle. "Poor, helpless little Anko-chan. My, have you grown quite strong, but it's still not enough." Anko got up and nursed her arm, which was leaking blood from vicious slashes of a sharp blade. What are you doing back here? What the hell do you want?" Orochimaru smiled his sadistic snake smile, which the genin knew then, and there was way more sinister than Anko's can ever be, and that alone sent shivers down their spine. I just came here to see my wonderful village. How nicely it's grown under the guidance of the fourth Hokage. Minato-kun had done an admirable job. Sarutobi-sensei chose wise. Anko grinned. "So you came back salty that the third Hokage chose the yellow flash of the leaf of his own student, huh? And I thought you were above pettiness. Orochimaru-sensei. The Genin's eyes were out of their skulls on that one. Anko was Orochimaru's former student? It made sense seeing as she has snakes for jutsu and Orochimaru was known as the Snake Sannin, so it connects. Said Snake stared at her smugly. Well, I've grown out of that jealousy, my dear student. Unlike you, at least Minato has talent. That made Anko mad. But even though looking back at the village now brings memories I've long wished to relive, I have come here for more than that. You see, a certain shinobi has sparked my interests. His eyes are sharper than anyone else's I have come to cross. Sure, I had to force him to activate his potential, but when it showed, it was magnificent. Anko growled. Eyes! You're after the Sharingan again, aren't you? Stay away from her. Orochimaru smirked. Well, I wasn't talking about Sori Uchiha. I was talking about dear Sasuke Uchiha. I gave him my mark and he'll come looking for power. It's his destiny. Sayori widened her eyes as she heard that tidbit of information. He got Sasuke? Wano. Orochimaru then snarled as he glared at the area where the genin were. Speaking of which, mind telling me what you little hatchlings are spying on us? His voice appeared from behind the genin team as he had somehow got behind them. Without hesitation, Naruto with his fox in his hands, Sayori and Yakumo jumped out on the same branch Anko was. What are you doing here? This is between me and him. Get outta here. Sayori ignored her as she shined her Sharingan on him, showing her two Tomo red eyes, making Orochimaru moan. Such glorious eyes. Magnificent. The power they hold. The blood of the Uchiha runs deep within her. What did you do to my brother? She shouted in anger. Naruto jumped to her. Let's go, Sayori. Sensei said dash. To hell with that, Uzumaki. Now, Orochimaru. What did you do to Sasuke? Naruto sighed. While he truly felt her anger and truly wanted to fight this man, his mind reminded him of who this man was. He is a Sannin, someone who's leagues ahead of even Anko, let alone him. That's why secretly, he ordered Kichiro to leave the forest to get help from an ANBU around. He hoped to escape this encounter unscathed, but Sayori wasn't making this easy. Yakumo ran to Anko and treated her wounds, so she was busy and Sayori looked ready to charge. He sighed. Fuck me. The Snake Sannin spoke in response to Sayori. Well, I gave him a little parting gift in hopes of making him stronger. Soon he'll seek me out and wish to gain my power. Just you wait and see. But maybe I can offer you the same thing. Sayori moved with two kunai in her hand. Yeah, well, I like to see you try. Naruto groaned as he charged in two with his sword out. Orochimaru saw the genin charge at him and decided to humor them, like he did with Sasuke earlier. Sayori came with a tornado kick following a kunai slash which the man dodged both. Naruto went under the branch in a quick pace to get him from behind while Sayori got his front. Once Naruto got to his back, he stabbed Orochimaru, only for him to turn into mud. What? When? I was watching him the whole time with my Sharingan. She soon saw him running on the treetops as he was slithering around like a snake. He soon charged at them in a blinding speed which they narrowly dodged by jumping to separate branches while he landed there and broke through it with his immense power. Sayori eyed his movement with her Sharingan. She was seeing his every single movement. She then ran through hand seals and shot a fire jutsu and after threw shuriken in the flames and activated her jutsu. Fire style. Phoenix flower jutsu. The jutsu launched at Orochimaru who smirked. Her speed to execute that shuriken on her jutsu is remarkable. Speed that would rival Itachi and her eyes are sharp as well. Maybe you're the better catch than Sasuke. Orochimaru barfed up his sword and then used it to block the flaming shuriken. Naruto sped up behind the Sannin and moved to slash him, but Orochimaru quickly countered him by turning around and blocking his attack. And him. He complements her attacks and moves accordingly to plan. He's quick and his attacks are lethal. If I'm not careful, he could leave an undesirable injury, he thought. The two had a kenjutsu match as Naruto was trying to keep up with him, but Orochimaru was only now just get started. Naruto went to slash him, but Orochimaru was so evasive and fast that his movement was unreadable to him. Sword pressure. Stage 1. Naruto shouted as his sword began to glow in chakra. He then used fire to channel into his blade as he struck his blade. Impressive, Naruto-kun. This type of chakra control and kenjutsu is certainly a Jonin-level accomplishment. Naruto didn't respond as he just kept trying to get an attack in, but Orochimaru wasn't full of any holes, and at his level of kenjutsu, there was no way he was beating him, but he just needed for Sayori to attack, which she did when she slid underneath and kicked his legs from behind the knee. The Sannin was surprised that Sayori was that quick, and Naruto acted quicker as he sliced the flame-covered blade into his chest, cutting him in half and setting his body into flames, but the victory was short-lived as he went into smoke. The two genin were in shock, and if it wasn't for Yakumo's scream from afar, they wouldn't have been able to dodge the sword slash. But that didn't stop the onslaught that happened. Orochimaru, faster and more powerful than before, punched Sayori in the face to the point where even her vision with the Sharingan went blurry and kicked her back into a tree with enough force to nearly break through. I've seen enough. I'm impressed. Naruto charged at him with his sword in hand, but before he could attack, Orochimaru swiftly chopped Naruto's wrist fast and hard, getting him to drop his sword and kicked Naruto's face, launching him to the tree opposite of Sayori. Orochimaru looked at the downed genin and eyed the Uchiha more. Those eyes. Such perfection. For such beautiful work. I'll give her my mark as well. Naruto acted quick as he saw the snake Shannon's neck extend to Sayori. Yakumo looked at her sensei, who was unconscious from such abuse. She realized that she was on her own. Yakumo moved to attack as well, readying her kunai, but was stopped by wall of earth made by Naruto. He quickly used the substitution jutsu with Sayori, who was paralyzed to see the Sannin come at her. She closed her eyes and braced for the impact, but it never came. She soon realized that she was moved and opened her eyes in horror to see Naruto was bit by Orochimaru. The snake Sannin removed his mouth from Naruto in order to see his work, but scowled to see he missed but smirked. Well, he wouldn't be a bad body after all. I mean, he is the son of Minato. What better way to spite him than take his son's body for good? And if he dies, one less Namikaze to worry about. Naruto began to scream in pain as he felt the mark form on his neck, which was a 3 tomo appeared on his left side of his neck, and it was painful. His body was throbbing. Orochimaru moved to Sayori about to mark her, but Yakumo threw a kunai there. "Don't you dare!" she yelled, but inwardly terrified. The snake Sannin smirked at her before he felt the presence of Anbu. He growled but smirked. He at least got one Uchiha brat. He turned to Yakumo and threw a heaven scroll. She caught it and looked fearful at the Sannin. Orochimaru smiled at her. "You need it to pass, right? You have an earth scroll. I wish to see these two grow. Well, if Naruto-kun makes it, however. Until we meet again, my dear genin." With that, Orochimaru began to sink into the ground, leaving a scared Yakumo and Sayori, but the latter ran to Naruto and the former collapsed to her knees and threw up. "TT, those eyes," she muttered. Sayori ran to Naruto and held him in her arms as he squirmed in pain. "Naruto, please, it's gonna be all right," she said as tears were stinging her eyes as she watched him screaming and cry out. Water fell from her eyes as she watched him in pain because he saved her. She felt like this was her fault and she didn't know what to do. Naruto soon let out a blood-chilling scream into the night as he passed out finally, leaving Sayori to cry. "Yakumo, come here, please," she said in shaken voice. The girl responded as she ran to her teammates after she pulled herself together. "What happened?" the Kurama member asked. "I don't know. Orochimaru did this to him. He hurt him. He just bit Naruto and then he started screaming and passed out," Sayori cried. Yakumo looked at her and saw how much of a wreck she's in. "First fight we have in Tai Forest and it's Orochimaru. Great. 10. Chunin exam prelims. Yakumo's time to shine. Mindscape. What am I doing in here?" Naruto asked as he looked at the fox. Kurama looked down at him, pretty pissed off. "Gee, I don't know. I thought you would know. But hey, now I remember now. It's because you fucking got marked by that stupid snake Sannin. I knew that Uchiha girl was trouble, but damn it all to hell." Naruto looked at Kurama in confusion before remembering. Oh right, he gave me the curse mark. Yeah, how are we about that by the by? Kurama just looked down at him and groaned. Well, since he sent his chakra into you with the curse seal, I had to burn out his essence and remove the mark from your body by using the last bit of my chakra I just got back. Meaning I have an O chakra again. So yeah, I say you're good. Naruto rubbed his head sheepishly as he looked up to the fox. Hee. Sorry? Kurama sighed but grumbled something. Huh? What was that, Kurama? Kurama grumbled again but a little louder. What? I said I'm glad that you're all right. Happy. Fuck. Naruto was nearly blown back by the booming of Kurama's yell, but when he recollected himself, he smiled. Thanks, Fuzzy Nuts. Kurama began to growl as he then spoke softly before he roared. Get out, real world. Naruto opened his eyes to see he was in a gray room with white curtains on their rods on the ceiling, with a window on the right side of his bed. Okay, I'm in the infirmary of some sort. Damn, I guess that means we failed the test. He thought, pretty bummed out at the thought of losing the exam. They were so close to passing, they had a plan and they were strong to execute it, but one little mishap and everything came crumbling down. Naruto began to glance around the room some more to see that there was a person on his left. The raven-haired girl with the Uchiha symbol on her back was sleeping on his bed with her arms on her head, her face turning to the opposite of him. Sori. He mumbled. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. She was here. She hasn't left your side since you were put in here. Yeah, since you were so quick to kick me out, Kurama. I refuse to be called such a vulgar name such as Fuzzy Nuts. I demand respect. Naruto sighed in annoyance. His fox was too much and should accept his name. Look, Kit, you have to be more careful. You're not like those two Uzumaki siblings where they have my chakra to heal from their injuries. You just happen to be lucky I had that much chakra from your sister to save you from the snake's curse seal, otherwise you'd be dead or God knows what. Sometimes you have to let people get their just desserts. So you'd rather have me watch Sayori get marked with this and maybe watch her die or turn into whatever the seal does? Naruto frowned in his response. I'd rather her than you, Naruto. The two were quiet for a while, neither of them saying anything as they had to digest what the other person had said. Naruto, I don't mean that I don't care for the Uchiha girl, which says a lot coming from me of all people, but you're my top priority. I'm not in the Uchiha girl or that Kurama girl or that sensei of yours. Not your siblings, not your parents or godparents. My presence, with or without chakra, is in you. I need to look out for you. So when shit goes down, if no other option, I'm gonna look for the best case scenario that involves your survival. Even if it means to leave your friends behind. Naruto sat there in silence, completely thinking of what his tenant just said. That's kind of messed up, Kurama. But I get where you're coming from, but it doesn't mean I agree though, he replied. Naruto continued to sit there talking to his tenant until he heard a loud yip that from the ground and jumped up into Naruto. You're awake, Naruto-sama, Kichiro cried out. He felt so relieved his master was all right and well. Naruto smiled as he petted his fox, getting a purr from him. Hi, Kichiro-kun. I'm sorry for scaring you. The young fox bit Naruto's hand. You did more than just scare me. You gave me a heart attack. I go get the ANBU and Hokage, only to find you unconscious on the ground. Don't do that again. He petted the fox as it calmed down. Sayori took this chance to wake up and rub her eyes from the grogginess of her sleep. Once she did, she looked up and saw Naruto there, petting his fox with joy as Kichiro kept yipping in happiness. The Uchiha widened her eyes as she saw the Kitsune member was up and well. She had small traces of tears forming in her eyes. "NN Naruto." The blonde turned to her and smiled slightly. "Hey, Sayodash. You idiot." She charged into his arms and held him, shaking slightly. "You had no idea how scared I was. I thought you were gonna..." She couldn't stop as her tears began to fall and land on Naruto's neck. Naruto remained shocked from her sudden embrace. She looked down at his neck and saw the lack of the curse seal. It's gone. Naruto knew immediately what she was talking about and smiled as she faced him. Yeah, well, I guess it was a dud then. Huh. The Uchiha female looked at him in suspicion but just decided to let it go. Naruto, why did you do that? Why did you switch places with me? It should have been me. Naruto frowned. Don't be a fool, Sayori. We're teammates and friends. Like I would stand by and watch you get branded by the pedophile. Well, I mean, shut your ass up. Sayori glared at him. But I didn't ask you to. I was ready for my consequences. It should have been dash. Asterisk slap. The Uchiha girl's head was turned to the side forcefully by Naruto's hand. Did you really think I needed a specific reason as to why I switched places with you and took the curse mark instead of you? When my friend is in danger, that I would simply watch it and not do a thing. If so, you still see me as a weak idiot from our academy days. Sayori watched in awe and sadness at Naruto's face as he looked at her. It was hurt and disappointment. Naruto-kun dash. If you must have a reason, I guess to put in words, I didn't want you to be hurt by this. To have ties to a man that even Sensei herself doesn't want. I stepped in to save you because I care about you. Sayori. That made the Uchiha girl heart throb in pain as she didn't know what this feeling was, but she didn't like it. Especially when it was Naruto who starts it. Naruto? The blonde turns to her. Yeah? She smiled at him. Not that simple Uchiha cocky smirk that her clan was known for. A real genuine smile that lit up her whole face. Thank you. Naruto looked at her in awe. Never in his life has Sayori ever thanked him or anyone really. It just comes to show that Sayori is coming out of her Uchiha shell and showing everyone who she really is, a decent human being and not the flaming Uchiha asshole he paints her to be. Albeit, she still told you to kill yourself that day, remember? Ah yes, that day. Well, I can look past it, because she's changing Kurama. She's not like the other Uchiha. The only other people who were this nice was Mikoto. I can give her another chance. Besides, she stood up for me from my attackers, even her own brother. Can't I look past that? Naruto was startled by her sudden hug and he hugged her back with some effort as his teammate. Unfortunately, that was the scene that Team 12 plus Mikoto, Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, and Tsunade had arrived at. Yakumo smiled as she saw her friends hugging while Anko spoke, ruining the moment. Whoa, about to fuck or something? Sayori and Naruto pushed away from each other with such strength that Naruto and Sayori fell off the bed, while Kichiro started laughing. Kushina and Minto ran into action, grabbing Naruto and hugging him, worried about him. Naruchan. Thank goodness you're all right, Kushina cried and Minato smiled. You had us completely worried, son. You were shaking and quivering and had that god-awful fever. Kushina looked at him and cried. We were afraid that you were gonna die. Naruto looked at them in shock before pushing them back forcefully. Well, I'm fine, Hokage-sama, Kushina-sama. Thanks for your concern, but I will survive. They frowned from his formal tone. It was better than the hateful one they would get before. We're getting through to him, the parents thought. Well, thanks Tsunade for taking care of you personally, brat. She worked tirelessly on you for days until you woke, Jiraiya said. Naruto turned to the blonde Senju and bowed. He can at least show the woman gratitude for taking care of her, even if he had to bite his tongue from allowing him to say something foul like, well, aren't I lucky to survive your treatment, unlike those other two in the past, right? Or something along those lines. That would be so disrespectful, but then again, he wanted nothing more than to be disrespectful to the lady in front of him. He did not like Tsunade. Thank you, Tsunade-sama, Naruto said forcefully. The woman nodded her head in approval. Mikoto, however, was crying over her daughter. I'm so glad you're okay, but you are so grounded. You hear me? Going off and fighting Orochimaru. Are you insane? Mikoto turned her head to the other genin, who both looked down to avoid her gaze. All of you, what were you thinking trying to take him on? You should have ran. Yakumo looked up and shouted. Well, what the hell were we supposed to do? He was gonna kill Sensei. I wouldn't allow that. Yakumo is right, Mikoto-san. I'd fight 100 Orochimarus if it meant my teammates' safety, Naruto said. And he said that he had given Sasuke the curse mark. Sayori finished. The grown-ups looked shocked at the new information. Makoto looked over to Minato with fear. Hokage-sama, my son. He's still in the forest with that maniac. You have to find him. I already sent a ANBU team to search for Team 7. They have yet to find him. Furthermore, Naruto. Let me see your curse mark. Minato and Jiraiya moved to get to Naruto's neck, but only to find out the mark is gone. What? But how? Jiraiya exclaimed. Kushina and Anko spoke. What? What happened to Sochi? It's gone. The mark is gone. That shook off everyone in the room minus Sayori, who knew already. But how? You two said that mark can't be removed so easily. Anko shouted. We did, and it isn't, but the only explanation could be the Kyuubi, but even so, it shouldn't have the chakra to remove it, so how? Naruto? Jiraiya asked. The fox summoner shrugged his shoulders. I don't know, don't ask me. It's not like I have contact with the fox to know what he does or how he does it. I look at this as a blessing, so just drop it. But Naru dash. Drop it. The others felt that seriousness roll off of him and reluctantly agreed to let it go. It was better this way anyway, as the mark was gone, which means Orochimaru has no control over Naruto. But Sasuke was a different story. Naruto turned to his sensei in a bit of sadness. So, I guess that means we failed the exams, huh? Yakumo smiled as she pulled out 2 scrolls. Actually, we passed. Consider it a gift from the bastard. Naruto felt bittersweet at how he passed, but he was just happy now that he learned he can still move on to the preliminary. Anko smiled. With some heavy considerations, the higher-ups decided it's best to continue the exams. This day for my Gakis. You have 1 more day left to relax and ready yourselves for your matches. Yeah. Prepare yourself, Gaki. For my protege will take this exam, Jiraiya said while Naruto rolled his eyes. Like he can beat me as he is, Jiraiya. I told you he doesn't stand a chance against even Kichiro here, let alone me. Have they even made it to the tower yet? The elder ninja flinched as Menma and Naruko had yet to make it to the tower. Well, when he does, he'll take you on easy, Jiraiya said while Naruto shrugged. We'll see. Kushina spoke next. Well, get some rest, Sochi. I love you. Please stop, Kushina-sama. You'll only embarrass yourself even more, but I will try to get some rest. Kushina frowned while Tsunade looked to yell at him, but Minato stopped him, and the shinobi left, while the genin of Team 12 had remained. I'm sorry, you too. Naruto and Sayori turned to see Yakumo cry, while Kichiro was moved to her to cuddle her in comfort. I should have fought with you guys. But instead I was a coward, avoiding the fight while you got hurt, Naruto. I'm so sorry. Naruto smiled. There's nothing to be sorry for, Yakumo. You at first treated Anko-sensei's wounds, so don't worry about it. Besides, you're still training your body, you know. Your taijutsu is still slow going since your body is still so frail. You're getting better, but still, against a Sannin, I wouldn't push it, Sayori said. You keep punishing yourself because you think you're not on our level and you think you should be, but you shouldn't keep doing that to yourself. Everyone learns at their own pace, some fast and others slower. I can confidently say, you have more skill than my idiot brother at the moment, Naruto said. And mine as well. What they lack in, you thrive at, Yakumo. Just keep trying and keep believing in yourself. Your time to shine will come, sooner than you think. Naruto smiled at the Uchiha girl's words. Besides, if you want to blame someone, blame Sayori. She's the one who charged at Orochimaru. Shut up, she said with an embarrassed blush. Yakumo could only wipe her eyes and smile. She loomed down and petted Kichiro. I believe in you as well, Yakumo. Keep training and your time will come to kick ass. Yakumo smiled. Yeah, you're right. Thanks, guys. I'm really lucky to have you guys as a team. The two blushed before turning their heads. Naruto turned his head to the two kunoichi. So, while I was out, who made it to the tower? Sayori spoke first. Well, we weren't the first here as we lost to that Kumo team and Suna team. Sayori growled at the mention of Suna as the sand female kept trying to visit Naruto. She grew very annoyed at that female and vowed if she fought her, it was hell. Yakumo saw the Uchiha tense up when Suna was mentioned. You were so jealous. Just admit it, and this can go by a lot faster than you think. Well, after those teams came super fast, and that was just the first day. We were third overall, but the first Genin team from Konoha to make it. After that, Team 9 and 8 made it to Tower on day 3, looking a bit beat up, and that IWA team came in today. That's all we know of right now. Yakumo finished. Naruto frowned. So Gaara came through, and that Kumo Kunoichi with 2 tails did too? That will be troublesome. The 2 Kunoichi widened their eyes. What? Yujito is a Jinchuriki? How do you know? Kyubi told me. I'm in contact with him, by the way. Keep that to yourselves, please. I'd rather not have that family metal in my life anymore. Yakumo and Sayori nodded their head. So was he the one who got rid of your curse mark? Yakumo asked. Naruto nodded. Yep, he's the reason why. He shouldn't have chakra to do so, but he does because I got him some. Yakumo looked at him in confusion. Sayori turned to Naruto. Are you sure? This is your most guarded secret. Well, I should trust her, Sayori. She's my teammate. I'd hesitate if it was Anko, as she works directly under my annoying father. The Kurama clan member was confused. What's going on? What are you talking about? Naruto looked at her and spoke. I'm talking about my bloodline, Yakumo. The girl sat on the bed in shock. What? You have a bloodline? How? Not even Menma or Naruko have a bloodline if you don't count the Kyubi chakra the 2 have. What is it? Naruto looked over to the door. Sayori. The Uchiha nodded her head and ran to close the door, lock it, and close the blinds that covered the window. Once she did that, Naruto used his silent strangling jutsu on Kichiro, as the fox glared at him. What the hell did I do? Why am I the test object? Naruto smiled at his fox as he retracted his jutsu, pulling his familiar to him to pet him. Yakumo, with wide eyes, just sat there. I think you broke her, Sayori spoke. Ah shit, he said as he rubbed his hair. Yakumo finally spoke. You are an enigma, Naruto Kitsune. Naruto smiled. That's part of my charm, Yakumo. Just part of my charm. But why didn't you use this when dealing with Orochimaru? Because I wasn't ready to have it revealed yet. I wasn't sure if Anko was even watching or not, and Orochimaru would probably just kidnap me if I had such power. Couldn't risk it, you know. I have enough power, without the use of wood style, and I want to save as much of a trump card as I can for finals. Yakumo nodded her head before she glared at Sayori. So you knew the whole time? Hey, don't get mad at me. He made me swear not to tell, just as he did you. Naruto raised his hand in protest. Actually, I didn't really force you to not tell. I blackmailed you, which failed, seeing as your family knows about your Sharingan now. Shut the fuck up, Naruto. Make me. As the Uchiha threw the first punch, Yakumo smiled softly at the violence that was in front of her. It was peaceful to her. Time skip a day later. Okay, I'm gonna just let everyone know of the top. I'm not that great at fight scenes, but I'ma try, since it's always been something I want to get better at with time, so bear with me if it's bad. Some fights will just be canon, as honestly, we don't want to be reading a fight that happened the same from the show. As the day passed, the teams had filled in rather quickly as the day was nearing. Team 7, 10, and 11 finally showed themselves along with that sound team. Everyone besides the people who showed up days earlier were looking rather disheveled. Team 7 looked rough as Sasuke was repeatedly rubbing his neck in a wince, while Sakura kept tearing up as she looked at him, while Sai, who was also a bit beat up, just watched with that fake-ass smile of his. Team 8 was looking rather good since they had arrived earlier than ever, and Kiba made sure everyone knew it as well, which utterly annoyed everyone. Well, he was in the clear until he gets his match. Shino was just as silent as ever, while Hinata kept glancing over at Neji of Team 9 and at Naruto, who didn't even pay her any attention, though he did notice her watching once and knew deep down she was a creep. Team 9 was also doing better than most teams, as they have arrived earlier as well. Tenten was too busy eyeing the sword at Naruto's disposal, which kinda unnerved the Kitsune. He really didn't understand her infatuation with his blade, but he better watch her if she intends to steal. Rock Lee was just running on spot, as he probably didn't get to do his crazy extreme exercise this morning, so he was a bit off today. Neji was just standing there, eyeing people like they were beneath him and his power. If Inky he knew who exactly were here. Team 10 was a bit roughed up, but once Shikamaru gets his nap and Choji got some real food, they'll be right as rain. Ino just looked a bit down in the dumps as she watched Sasuke sadly, but other than that they looked fine. Though why Ino was sad when she looked at Sasuke instead of in all but action. Dropping her panties for the weirdo was a mystery to the Fox Summoner. Team 11 was a bit hard to put into place. Menma looked livid as he glared at the Kumo team that was right in beside them while Naruko watched them with equal amount of hatred. Something must have happened in the forest with these guys. Probably beat their asses or something, Naruto thought. Either way, the Kumo team was not even paying any attention to them, but however, the blonde one of their team was looking directly at Naruto. He also felt another pair of eyes on him as he turned to the other side of him, looking over to see Gaara looking at him, while Temari waves at him and winked, getting Sayori, Hinata, and Naruko glaring at her. Now in front of them was Minato, who was eyed the genin and their interaction with one another, so when he saw the ladies around his son, he smirked. "Oh son, ha ha ha, just like your Tuchan back in his day. So many girls. But among them was your mother. Choose wisely now." Minato then started to clear his throat. Now we reach the preliminary rounds of the Chunin exams. Normally, we would have the finals right here, but again, there are too many of you here, and as such we must need to lessen the numbers. Your proctor for the match will be Hayate Gecko here. Your name will be automatically picked. Now before we start, is there any people who wish to drop out here? A few hands go up, some from Kiri, and all of IWA genin drop out from being too tired, but none of them were just as suspicious as one Kabuto Yakushi. Naruto watched as soon as he left the room. Inoichi and Ibiki left the room to follow him. Minato watched the room but soon found no more hands. Okay, well then, good luck to you all. Now first pick. The slot on the wall moved at a fast pace, creating anticipation in the room before it landed on two names. Sasuke Uchiha versus Yoroi Akato. Minato sighed. It had to be the kid with the curse mark. He needed to get Jiraiya down here to contain the seal. All right, everyone but Sasuke and Yoroi, please leave to the stands, Hayate said with that cough. Naruto walked up to the stands, following his teammates, but ran into Team 8. Hinata blushed when she saw Naruto approaching and spoke. Hello, and Naruto. Yeah, hi, he said unenthusiastic before walking past her along with Sayori, ignoring Kiba yelling at him to acknowledge the Hyuga, but it fell in deaf ears. Yakumo was right behind them but was stopped by a hand. She turned to see the woman who was the pillar of her nightmare. Hello? Yakumo-chan, Kurenai greeted with a smile, which got Yakumo's blood boiling. How dare this later even look her in the eyes after she tried to sabotage her dreams like that. Hello, Yui-san. It's been a while. Kurenai sighed. It has. Though I am surprised after what I heard about your wave mission, but again, your teammates did most of the work. I don't know what the Hokage-sama was thinking. You shouldn't be here. You're not ready. Kurenai. The Genjutsu mistress looked up to see Anko walking up to collect her genin with a scowl, while Yakumo clenched her fists, while tears streamed her face. Anko didn't even bother to say a word to Kurenai as she just got Yakumo and turned to her the direction of her teammates, who were also pretty pissed at what the Jonin was saying. Don't you listen to her, Yakumo. We know you're strong. Believe in us. Anko encouraged, but Yakumo just kept crying. I hate her. So much. Sayori and Anko could only soothe her while Naruto watched the match in front of him. Sasuke Uchiha versus Yoroi Akato, same as canon. When the match was over, Naruto sighed in annoyance. Of course Sasuke would use others' hard work for his use. But then again, it is Lee's fault for challenging the Uchiha before the exams. Now he has to hold that L, he thought as he watched Lee's dumbfounded look. Soon after the match, the medics took Yoroi's body to the hospital while Jiraiya, who was by the Hokage, moved to the Uchiha but soon was stopped by Kakashi. The Jonin wanted to be the one to care for the Uchiha and was allowed to do so, which was utterly stupid. What the hell does Hatake know about seals? I mean, I don't know much either, but I know well enough that the seal on Sasuke is way too advanced for someone like Kakashi. He's only gonna fuck it up, Naruto said, and he mentally slapped his forehead. Sasuke was fucked, but he rather not get into that as the next match was starting. Yakumo Kurama versus Sai L/N. I'll let y'all be creative here as to wonder what Sai's last name is. Yakumo stood there in shock while Sai made his way down to the arena. I'm up next? Are all ready? Sayori smiled. Hell yeah you are. Go. Show what you got. Yakumo, just remember your training. You got this. Anko said with a smile. Exactly. And if you can't beat him, I'll come down there and finish him off for you. Naruto said. Get in line, Gaki. Anko said. Yakumo only laughed as she made her way to the arena and stood in front of Sai. Sai smiled at her, which only seemed to intimidate her more. Well, I hope you're ready to lose, Yakumo-chan. The kunoichi frowned. Don't call me that. Sai could only fake laugh as the proctor stood in between the two. Are both contestants ready? The two nodded as Yakumo was already pissed off. Now she was ready. All these people putting her down, her former sensei, the third Hokage, who was also watched this match. Everyone who knew her to be the monster she was not, Ito. The only ones to believe her were her teammates. She made the Kai hand sign. Things were about to change for here. Heiate saw that both were ready and started the match. Begin! Sai wasted no time to charge at her with his tanto. Yakumo pulled out a kunai just in time before he got her and countered him. Sai saw her struggling and pushed her back with more strength, getting her arm to shake before he began to continue his strikes. Sai began to pick up the pace, getting Yakumo to panic since she couldn't keep up for much longer. She blocked his attacks before he went too fast and nearly beheaded her, but Yakumo, on instinct, pushed his head to the side, only getting a slice on her cheek before getting kicked back. Sai went in for the win as he rushed to her, but Yakumo thought quickly. She ran through hand seals before breathing fire. Fire style, Dragon Flame Jutsu, she shouted as it shot right at Sai. The ink user just disappeared in a flash before the fire hit him, reappearing behind Yakumo and kicked her to the floor, but the kunoichi wasn't giving up without a fight. Sai then engaged her in taijutsu, taking advantage of her usual weak areas as a shinobi. He sent a fist to her stomach, but she swatted it away. Sai then sent an uppercut, but Yakumo backed up before she sent a heel kick to Sai's face, but it lacked a bit of power since she was still getting better at her strength. Sai smiled. It seems you're better than when you were in the academy, Yakumo-chan. I'm impressed. She glared at him. Of course I am. I've been training non-stop to get past my weakness. I won't be left behind and be a burden to me teammates. Sai smiled. You'll always be a burden to your teammates. If I recall, the last mission we went on was an example. I mean, you couldn't even stop the Uchiha from using you as a shield. You're so pathetically weak, it's very funny. Yakumo remained silent while Team 12 was on the balcony shouted various profanities. You talk tough, but in the end you're weak. So weak that you need poor Sayori and Naruto to save you all the time. It's really unbecoming of a heiress of a highly respected clan of yours. And especially since of that little thing in you. Yakumo widened her eyes as she heard that tidbit, as well as the Hokage and other jonin around. Huh? What's she talking about, Anko-sensei? The jonin didn't answer, but she was so angry at the Splatoon wannabe brat that she was going to kill him when she finds him later on. When she's off duty as a jonin and exam proctor, then it's time for sneaky sneaky, hush hush, stab stab. Kurenai was watching this in shock and distaste. She knew having Yakumo be a shinobi was a bad idea, but the fourth Hokage, being an optimist, let her continue with her dream after seal her demon properly. Her mission to stop this was something that the former Hokage and now advisor, Hiruzen Sarutobi, had given her to do. He had decided it'd be best to shut her dreams down too, but Minato thought against it and decided to seal her demon away using a powerful Uzumaki seal, similar to the one that was used on the triplets. But Kurenai had a fear that, if at the wrong time, Yakumo will snap and kill everyone. So she needed to be stopped. Yakumo stood there in silence. She just stood there. Seeing that she wasn't attacking anymore since she can't fight, Sai charged at her. Now that you've given up, just stand there and take it like the good little demon you are. Anko saw what was going on. She moved to stop the attack but was in shock when he was cutting through air. Wah dash! The Yakumo he was attacking was gone and there was nothing but him. I'm over here. He turned to find Yakumo standing on the opposite side of the arena, shocking everyone there. Back in the stands, Naruto and Sayori were amazed. What the fuck? The two said simultaneously. Anko smiled at her prize student as she was tearing it up down there. This match will end sooner than I thought if she's doing this. Now she's just toying with him. Oh Yakuchan, you make your sensei so proud. Ino heard that from the weird proctor and asked, what do you mean she's toying with him? If anything, Sai has complete control over this battle. He has yet to even use his jutsu. Anko smiled at the clueless little genin. Well, I don't like spoiling surprises, so I would recommend watching Gaki. You'll know when it's over. Ino frowned at the lack of an answer and turned her head to the match. Kurenai's eyes were glued to the match, waiting for Yakumo to snap so she can put her down. In her mind, she shouldn't even be a genin, let alone try out for Chunin. She won't let Yakumo kill anyone here. It was her duty to stop her, but so far, things seemed to be going alright, so she just stood by and watched. Back on the floor, Sai growled as he watched Yakumo grin at him. What's wrong, Sai? This weakling surprise you or something? Can't you cut me down already? The grin on her face was more than enough to drive Sai uneasy, but he was still confident. The fight was still his. No matter. I'll end this now. He pulled out a scroll and paintbrush before scribbling in it, creating 4 life-size tigers. Ninja art. Super beast scrolls. He shouted as the tigers began to charge at Yakumo, who only stood there. The beasts made of ink attacked her as they mauled her, but she just disappeared again. Sai began to get frustrated. Where is she? He shouted before he was then seen sinking into the floor, and the arena itself was melting away like mud on a wall. Wadash, he said before he was dragged down to what looks like to be the pits of hell. In that place, there were strange demon-like creatures that were crawling around. Demon dogs with crab-like features, such as the pincers and inhumanoid demons that shook him in his boots. Sai looked utterly petrified, which was something since he was trained to not show fear, but what he was witnessing was too real. Its genjutsu. It has to be. He put his hands together in hopes of releasing it, but it still remained. It's RRR real. No, it can't be. Soon he heard a voice that was echoing in his mind. It wanted to sound like Yakumo's voice, but it was more sick and demented. You like this place, Sai? It's mesmerizing, isn't it? I would have chose not to bring you here, but... Yakumo's presence was brought out into sight of Sai, showing him her face. It was all distorted for a butt, not having any real facial structure. Her face looked as if it were fake. But then you had to go and say all those hurtful things. So I knew you just had to be punished for that. Yakumo finally looked at him, dead in his eyes. Her irises glowed yellow and her skin gray a dark brown as horns began to grow. Her body posture began to change from the beauty that everyone saw to a more sickly, taller form. She hunched over and grew claws on her hands. Her jaw grew out along with her teeth sharpening as her eyes stayed fixated on his terrified ones. She transformed into the demon that he heard of, Ito. Come here, Sai. Give me and your big brother a hug. Sai looked at her in fear and shock as sweat began to grow on his body as he turned around to be faced with his own brother. He had gray hair and black eyes and wore the same Root Umbu-styled outfit as Sai. Shin? Shin didn't reply, however. Instead, he morphed into a terrified demon that swiped for Sai. That scream was heard through the real world too, as Sai just fell to his knees in tears as he screamed to the heavens before he was knocked out cold. Yakumo stood there, without a scratch, while everyone, besides Anko and Kurenai, just watched blankly. Yakumo did a hand sign before releasing her jutsu, and everyone was right as rain. Heiate rubbed his eyes before looking to the contestants to see Yakumo smiling at him and Sai out cold. He began to cough and spoke. Due to the contestant being unconscious, the winner of this match is Yakumo Kurama. In the stands, everyone was so confused, but Anko was cheering loudly to make up for the lack of her teammates' voices. What the hell was that? What just happened? Naruto asked. Anko smiled as she finished cheering, seeing as her student was walking up the stairs to them, while Sai was being carried on a stretcher. Yeah, what the hell? One thing I see Yakumo begin to fight and Sai was saying all that dumb shit. Then the next Yakumo wins with a total KO? What? Sayori said. Anko smiled. Well, it was genjutsu. The genin around were confused at the most simple answer. Huh? What do you mean it was genjutsu? I would have known about it since I'm the best when it comes to that since my chakra control, Sakura said. Anko laughed at Haruno's statement. You? The best? At Genjutsu? Gaki, you have potential. I'm not gonna front, but Yakumo can run laps around your so-called talent. Sakura growled as she glared at Anko, but Naruko shut her up. What do you mean? Yakumo comes from a prestigious clan known for Genjutsu. They possess Genjutsu so powerful it rivals Kurenai, the Genjutsu specialist, and even Itachi Uchiha with his famed Sharingan Genjutsus. While there are some Karamas in the clan that possess great Genjutsu, there is always that once-in-a-generation prodigy that carries the clan to great heights with their blood. That person's Genjutsu is so very strong that they can literally manipulate anything at will and make illusions seem real. Shikamaru sighed. Let me guess, that once-in-a-generation prodigy is Yakumo, isn't it? That's so troublesome. That makes Team 12 even more difficult to handle. Naruto was at awe. He knew Yakumo was a strong when it came to Genjutsu, but he didn't know she was that good. So she was able to cast everyone in the area under a Genjutsu? He asked. Anko nodded. Yep, we've been practicing how to do that since Yakumo can do that through painting, but unlike Sai, her speed when drawing isn't so great, so we tried to channel it on a smaller scale. By just doing a specific motion, Sayori frowned. That hand sign, the one from the beginning. We saw her do that before the match even started. We all under it by then. Anko nodded her head again as Yakumo made herself known. Her two team members ran to her. Yakumo, that was fucking amazing, Naruto said, and Sayori agreed. Yeah, you sneaky bitch. You're so good. What did you do to Dick Lover down there, though? We only saw you fight, but not the part where he screamed. Yakumo blushed from all the praise. Well, it wasn't anything extraordinary. I just used his most lost and loved thing, and used it against him with the combination of my own fear tactics. Kichiro turned to Naruto. You better not make an enemy out of her. She'll eat you alive. Naruto nodded. Oh, he knew better. To be able to cast a Genjutsu on such a large scale like that, and even more so to pinpoint the target of the jutsu without pulling them all under the same Genjutsu, takes serious amount of skill, like Jonin level amount of skill. Yakumo could very well be the most powerful person on the team now that he got a closer look at her power. He really envied her Genjutsu ability. Well, you just have to keep training. You won't be as good as her in Genjutsu though. That Kurama girl is on a league of her own when it comes to Genjutsu, but you can be skilled in the art when you train with the devious foxes. But Kichiro is right, don't mess with that one now, or you could be eating your own balls for lunch while thinking it's dumplings. Naruto gulped. Yakumo wouldn't do that if they had an argument, right? Naruto smirked as he looked at Sayori. Well, now that I have seen Yakumo in combat, it's safe to say that Sayori is the weakest of the group, he teased. The Uchiha female glared at him. What? I'm the weakest. I bet I can take you on. You're still an idiot. Naruto scoffed. Ha! Shows what you know, moron. He laughed. Kiba decided to join in, ruining their little banter that the two had. Well, she is right, Naruto. You are still an idiot, and I think you have no shot here. Especially if it's against me. Naruto and Sayori rolled their eyes at the Inuzuka's insult, ruining their own interaction. Oh, shut up, Kiba, the Uchiha girl said. That confused the others greatly as she stood up for the same person she insulted. But you just said the same exact thing about Naruto Baka, Ino shouted. That's because I'm the only one that's allowed to insult him. As she finished saying that, she then had a satisfying smile on her face before she blushed in embarrassment, having realized what she said. Naruto blushed too, while Anko and Yakumo laughed. Menma just scoffed. Whatever, it doesn't matter. He's still a failure. I'll take him on any time. Just wait, Naruto. You have no idea what I'm capable of. I'll take you, Sasuke, Neji, Lee, and Gaara down and become the strongest, as it's my destiny as the fourth Hokage's son. Sakura and Ino began to swoon over his cool words, while Naruko rolled her eyes at her idiot brother. It was obvious that she was going to win the tournament, so Menma was just being delusional. She just needed him to beat Naruto so he can come back home and love her, and then Menma would be history and she can win it all. Though now, she had to put Yakumo on her watch list, as Genjutsu was something she was terrible at. Hayate began to clear his throat. Okay, well, enough talk. Let's move on to the next part of the exams, shall we? Now, next is The name on the plate was changing again, and it finally landed on two names again. It was Shino Aburame and some guy named Zaku Abumi from Sound. The guy looked totally beaten up, so it was a surprise to see him want to fight still. The guy had courage and vigor, is what Lee would say, but Naruto thought he was being a dumbass, and it showed as he lost the fight rather quickly to Shino once the Aburame used his bugs to enter the man's body and forced Zaku's attack inwardly and knocked him out. The next battle was Kankuro and this Misumi Tsurugi. The fight again ended quickly, though Naruto was surprised to see that large lump on Kankuro's back wasn't in fact a lump, but in fact a puppet, making him a puppet master. Kankuro easily trapped Misumi in his puppet and won the match that way. Now the next one was going to be sweet as the next names appeared on the screen. Naruko Uzumaki versus Sayori Uchiha. That was when the two girls smirked evilly to themselves. Showtime, 11. Uchiha fails and the Fox Summoner prevails. It was the fourth match of the day, and it was two people who had a place in the Kitsune's life. Sayori Uchiha, formerly one of his bullies and now trusted comrade and teammate against Naruko Uzumaki, former sister, although she still claims the title, and now fellow genin. Naruto looked at Sayori, who was just stretching her body and looking rather calm. "Think you'll be able to take her down?" Naruto said with a smirk. He already knew who was rooting for. Sayori smirked as she turned her head to see the angry Uzumaki girl glare at her. "Oh yeah, she's not of any concern to me. Just you watch." Yakumo and Kichiro shouted. "You better win." Anko laughed. "Well, she is strong and comes from the Uzumaki family. She does pose a great enough threat as Kushina-sama and Hokage-sama have been training her." Naruto grunted as he hated to believe it, but his sensei was right. Unlike Menma, Naruko was at least had some skill from what she learned from their parents. The fight at Wave proved to be true. But she still wasn't a total threat to him. Sayori, on the other hand, he wasn't sure how well her skill will take her. Naruto turned to Sayori and stated at her, "Don't lose." She continued to glare at Naruko, but she spoke. "Got it. Because later on, I want to fight you too, Sayori." The girl broke her concentration on Naruko and turned to him with shock written on her face. They stared at each other and none of them spoke a word for a while. It wasn't as if it was a surprise that besides the weird feelings each had for another, there was a sense of rivalry between them. It was just that no one outright admitted it until Naruto himself said it just now. To others around them, it may just seem like it's a petty little feud that was going on. These two were notorious back in the academy for not liking one another. To them, though, it was more. It was saying, "I acknowledge your strength. You're my equal," kind of thing, and it inspired Sayori because she knew that he felt the same as her. She stopped standing there so stiffly and spoke with a genuine smile. "Got it." Naruto smiled too as she walked off, nodding to the rest of her team. Kichiro jumped on his master's head and spoke. "You think she can win, Naruto-kun?" He shrugged his shoulders. "Beats me. Sayori is strong, no doubt about it. We've trained together, so her taijutsu is something to fear for an average genin, and her jutsu isn't bad either. She's deadly in shuriken jutsu too, so she could pull through, but Naruko is, for the better part, an enigma to me." Yakumo tuned in to the conversation. "How so? I mean, not to offend you, Naruto, but she's your sister. I mean, you told us how you never trained with them, but surely you know what she specializes in." Naruto shook his head. "No, I don't, unfortunately. I usually skipped out on watching the family trained when I was with them, and Naruko only used taijutsu around when I was watching." He lied. He knew she could actively call upon Kurama's chakra at will or upon rage, but he didn't need for Sayori or Yakumo to trip balls over it. Sayori still has a chance, but if Naruko pulls out her tailed beast chakra, it will be extremely difficult for the Uchiha to win. Naruko moved to the stairs, passing by Team 12. She smiled at Naruto. "Aren't you gonna wish me luck, Nisan?" Kichiro stick his tongue out at her. "Yeah right, loser. Just get down there so Sayori-chan can beat your ass already." "I want to go home," the small fox said with no hesitation. Naruko grew a tick mark on her forehead but ignored him for her brother. "Stop calling me that. I'm not your brother, so give it a rest. And I shouldn't need to wish you luck. Your training from you mother and father should have prepared you for this moment, so let's see if it will come into fruition, Hokage's daughter," he mockingly said. Naruko frowned. "They're your parents too, Narunai. Just get down there and fight. You're pissing me off. The younger sister moved dejectedly as the other genin and jonin, minus Yakumo and Anko, glared at Naruto. Hey asshole, why do you have to be such a prick? She was just asking you for good luck. Ino yelled. Yeah, idiot. You don't have to be so mean, Kiba shouted. Menma charged at him and pinned him to the wall as he noticed Naruko wipe her eyes as she walked down the steps. After the match is over, you will apologize to her, you no good loser. I don't know why she cares for garbage like you, but she didn't deserve that. Anko grabbed Menma off of Naruto, who remained silent. Hey, hands to yourself, Gaki. Or should you be disqualified? She said. Like you're one to talk about garbage. Why the hell would I acknowledge her when she never acknowledged me? She, like you and your Uzumaki family, have left me to my own time and time again. Where was my good luck when I was starting to train? Where was my good luck when I was starting out at the academy? All I ever got was go-aways and not nows. Naruto shouted in his face before going quiet. Kushina, who also was in the stands, and Minato, were wiping tears from their faces as they heard that. Oh Naruto, I'm so sorry. I failed you. Both thought. Kakashi came back at the right time with a yo, before analyzing the grim aura of the arena. Did I miss something? He said with a sweat mark, getting everyone to sigh at him. His usual none-caring attitude was actually useful for once, as it diffused the situation before the tension got any heavier. Naruto had his back against the wall as he watched the match below, with Yakumo switching her glances between Sori, who was beginning her fight, and Naruto, who was pretty upset but just didn't want to show it. Anko sighed. This is going to be a tough subject for me to touch. She moved over to Naruto, Kichiro, and Yakumo. Naruto was petting Kichiro as he watched the arena. You know, Naruto, I know you don't want to hear this right now, but I need to say this. Whatever hatred you have towards your family dash. You're right. The whole team turned to shock as Naruto uttered those words. Huh, Anko said. You're right. I don't want to hear what you have to say in regards to my family. It's none of your concern. Anko glared at him. Listen, kid. These people are going out of their way to show you that they care about you. They are going nuts thinking about the fact that you hate them and want absolutely nothing to do with them. Don't think I also don't know about that little bet you got going on with them. Are you really gonna bet your family's love like that? If so, you're a moron. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto glared at her. Do not call me that name again. Furthermore, I have nothing to prove to you, Anko. Keep pushing the matter. You're only gonna wreck our team trust. This has nothing to do with you. I don't care how hard they're trying. They only started caring this year. My suffering was for years. So they better start kissing my toes all the way to suck my dick before I even have the ranging thought of ever truly forgiving them. End of conversation, Anko-sensei, he said before turning to the match, leaving Anko to speak again, but Kichiro growled. Just drop it, Anko. It's not going to work. Naruto will forgive them when he is ready. Not on anyone else's terms or influences. Don't force him to do and say something that he doesn't get behind 100%, the fox said. Yakumo smiled sadly. Kichiro-kun is right, Anko-sensei. It's best to just leave this matter alone. Let's just watch the match. I'm sure Sayori is gonna kick ass. Naruto smirked. She better. I have to fight her too. Wait, you only want to fight her but not me, Naruto? Am I still not strong enough? She said with a mock pouting face. I think Naruto-kun is just scared of your genjutsu and would rather avoid you at all cost, Kichiro said, while Naruto almost literally threw the fox over the balcony of the arena. Shut up, Kichiro, he said with an embarrassed blush while Yakumo laughed. Anko watched from the side with a small smile. She turned to the Hokage and his wife and frowned. If what he says is true, then it may even take years for Naruto to fully forgive them. He isn't a flight risk to Konoha, but it's onky questionable when his biological family is involved. I'm sorry, Kushina-sama, Hokage-sama. I'm afraid you're on your own when it comes to convincing your son. I'm done. If what he says is true, I'm afraid I can't blame him for being how he is with you two either. Now on the arena floor, two girls stood towards each other. The Uchiha and Uzumaki females, and tension rose between them. I'm going to kick your ass for taking away my Nissan from me. He doesn't belong to a gutter trash bully like you, Sayori. The Uchiha frowned. It was a rather dark past that she couldn't shake now no matter how hard or how much she wanted to. She was Naruto's bully. Nothing will change that. She made him have all those dark thoughts and sullied his day even further from the neglect he had already put through. In her mind, she was just the same as Naruko in front of her. Though by some gracious being, that's me, the author smirking face, gave her a second chance to repay Naruto and be a kinder person. And she wasn't one to waste second chances. And you're better than me, how? Let's not forget, Naruko Baka, that you did abuse him too. You're no better than me. In the treatment of Naruto and as a skill as ninja, you'll always be beneath me and I'll prove it. Hayate finally let the girls have their trash talk before he spoke. Are both fighters ready? The girls nod and got in their stances. Begin! As soon as Hayate got away, Naruko ran in first, ready to lay a beat down on Sayori. The Uchiha decided to test the waters first before she decided on what to do. Naruko started out with a fast kick, but Sayori leaned back to avoid it. Naruko just kept throwing attacks on the Uchiha and she didn't get anywhere as Sayori just kept dodging. Stand still and let me hit you, Sayori Baka. Sayori kept dodging. And why the hell would I do that? Sayori stopped being on the defense and went offensive. She blocked a punch from Naruko to deliver a fast jab in Naruko's face. It didn't hurt much, but it did stun her. Naruko growled as she charged in again. She sent a fast kick to her head, but Sayori dodged it and jumped back, but Naruko threw kunai and shuriken at her. Sayori, who only took her own kunai and parried them all. Naruko didn't stop as she went in for more taijutsu. The Uzumaki ran for a haymaker, but Sayori dodged it but didn't get away from the quick back-handed fist that she got to the nose, making her bleed. She stumbled back in shock and slight pain before wiping her nose and smirking. Nice trick, but you won't land that in me again. Naruko smirked. Bet? She replied before she stood in her stance. Sayori charged in as well as Naruko and both charged a punch, but Sayori was slick and decided to fake her out but went with a kick to the stomach at the last minute, but Naruko miraculously caught it by her shins with both hands, which was why she couldn't catch Sayori's other foot from kicking her face back into a wall. Sayori moved swiftly as she sped up to Naruko with low Chunin speeds to deliver nasty jabs to her face. You're finished. And Naruto-kun is free from you. She sent fast strikes to her face and upper body, but Naruko was blocking most of them until she got an uppercut that launched her in the air. Naruko skidded on the floor as she laid down for SEC before getting up while rubbing her chin while keeping that smile on her face. Hehe, got her right where I want her. She got up from the ground fully as Sayori just watched her with a victory smirk. Is that all you got, Uzumaki? This'll be a quicker match than I thought if that's the case. Come on. I haven't even activated my Sharingan yet. The match was very boring for her and it just started. What was this, an academy spar? The Uzumaki glared at her. Don't you dare mock me. I'm better than you are. She then did a Kai sign and then Sayori began to feel weak. WW-wa-dash. She fell to her knees as she felt something wedging her down. The spectators were in confusion as to what was happening, but Naruto frowned as he figured it out. Figures. She is her daughter at the end of the day. Yakumo stared at him. What? What's happening to Sayori? Naruto sighed. I didn't realize she was this far into her training. Hell, I didn't know she was even smart and patient enough to get to that level, but she did it. She is an Uzumaki. Just what are you talking about, Naruto? Choji asked. Asuma, who overheard, smirked. Just watch the match. You'll understand completely. Kushina smiled as she saw what was happening. Yep. My baby's got this in the bag. Menma smirked. Of course. She's my sister and also a part of the Uzumaki Namikaze's heritage. Of course she'll beat common folk like the Uchiha. Naruto frowned as he heard that but continued to watch the match. Kichiro looked down and yipped. Come on, Sayori. Get your head out your ass. You have the control of this fight. Naruto sighed. Not anymore, Kichiro. The tiny fox looked at his master. What do you mean? She was totally owning Naruko. She had no chance. Yeah, but Sayori is an idiot. She was too busy showing off. She could have ended the fight sooner had she used her Sharingan, but she didn't, and that costed her. Yakumo spoke. What do you mean? Anko spoke in favor of Naruto. Well, to put it in simple words, when going up against an Uzumaki, it's best not to let them touch you. That got everyone's attention. What do you mean, Anko-sensei? Sakura asked. You see, other than Kenjutsu, the Uzumaki were known for their power in seals. It's basically who they are and how they rivaled clans like the Uchiha and Senju, though they were originally distant cousins with the latter. The Uzumaki can basically do damn near anything with seals, and that's what makes them dangerous to go up against. My blonde cute genin was right. It was foolish of Sayori to not take her seriously off the top, and it may cost her now. Back in the arena, Sayori was glaring at her. What did you do? Naruko smirked. Well, I have been keeping this a secret since I wanted to surprise everyone, especially Nisan when he comes home, but I have been training to become a seal master, like my Ka-chan and Tu-chan. I've been learning seals since the day I started the academy and only started learning to use them in combat when I became a genin. What I just planted on you was a chakra cancellation seal. That seal will activate as soon as chakra is being used in your system and will cancel the flow immediately. The Uchiha girl looked shocked. Now, you can't use your fire jutsu, you can't cast genjutsu, you can't even use your pesky Sharingan. So I suggest you surrender. You lost, Sayori. That one struck a nerve with Sayori. She really had lost to her, and after her team's encouragement, she failed. She looked up to see her sensei's saddened smile, but it held a proud look. She was still a good kunoichi, it was just unexpected to see that Naruko was actually good in seals. She looked over to Yakumo, who could only glare at Naruko, which she found a bit funny and cute that the usual calm and caring Yakumo was hating someone. It just shows that she was only looking out for her teammates. Lastly, she looked at Naruto, the one she was dreading to see. She looked at him, but instead of a disappointed frown, she got a smile. A genuine smile. He then shrugged his shoulders and mouthed a sentence that made her feel at ease, as it was full of Naruto-ness. I mean, shit happens. Oh well, move on from this. It was so dry and basic, yet it was from him. So even if it was dry, it was the truth, so she can only smile bitterly and raise her hands. I surrender. Hayate spoke in his raspy voice. The match is over. Winner is Naruko Uzumaki. Naruko smiled brightly as she looked in the stands to see her mother cheer for her. Her father smiled while Menma smirked arrogantly. She glances at Naruto but saw his glance was to his Uchiha teammate, who was a bit down. Hey! Sayori called. Naruko moved to glare at her. Hurry up and take this shit off my leg. Naruko scoffed in annoyance before having to removing it off of her and watched her leave, but before she reached the stairs, the Uchiha spoke. Next time, I won't go easy on you. Expect me to go at you with my fully developed Sharingan the next time we fight. Naruko smirked at her, which only burned Sayori even more. And I'll beat you again, Uchiha. You're no match for me. Fight me another time and again, you will lose. Sayori said nothing, leaving the Uzumaki with the last words as she made her way to the contestants area where her teammates were. She passed by everyone, but when she made it to her team, Yakumo spoke to her. Damn that girl. Don't worry, Sayori. None of us knew she was going to do that. Exactly right, my young student. You did well though, Anko said in a guy-like tone, which made the spandex-wearing man laugh, thinking he was becoming famous, but Anko was clearly mocking him. Yeah, but still, you were reckless. Even if you didn't know what she had under sleeve, never underestimate your opponent. They don't care if you're an Uchiha or not, they'll still kill you at the end of the day. She beat you because you were arrogant, Naruto said. Sayori could only hang her head in shame because he was right. She was being arrogant and it cost her dearly. Now, she looked like her brother due to her actions just then. I am sorry. I was foolish and careless. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. Yeah, but hey, it's the Chunin exams. Not like your life was on the line or anything. Just don't be like Sasuke, please. He's a dumb ass on his own. We don't need two of him. Sakura and Ino heard him and shouted. Shut up, Naruto baka. Sasuke-kun is way smarter than Dash. Oh, shut the fuck up already. Good lord. Kichiro barked. Sayori laughed at that but frowned when she thought. So, I lost my match. Yep, you did, Naruto replied. That means I can't fight you here. Yep, I know. I let you down. No, you didn't. Huh? She said confused. Look, despite what happened, I'm not mad at you, Sayori. I'd be mad if you were still the cocky bitch back in the day and say she got lucky or some stupid shit. No, you made a mistake, paid the price, and learned from it. I can't judge anymore on the topic, case close, move on. Just don't let this misfortune happen again and train harder. 'Cause even now, out of everyone here right now, I want to fight you really badly. Maybe it's the former bully complex you have? Maybe it's because I simply want to punch the shit out of you? I don't know. Sayori just smirked as she spoke. Well, don't worry, Naruto. I'll get stronger and challenge you to a spar because besides my older brother, you're on my list to beat down too. Naruto smirked. Oh, you want to fight Itachi now? I would highlight that fight and get bank off it. The title would be this: Older Sibling Beats Younger Sibling's Ass. That will definitely get people to come and watch. Fuck you, she said. I know you want to, but we're too young, Sayori. And you didn't even ask me out first. That got the Uchiha blushing. Well, if that's so, well, how about, at this, Naruto began to blush. Is she really gonna? Well, hey Nisan. The two blushing genin of Team 12C Naruko standing there with a victorious smile, knowingly blocked Sayori's attempt at doing whatever she was planning to do with her brother. What do you want, Uzumaki-san? Naruto asked. She smiled cutely for him while slightly blushing. Aren't you gonna congratulate me, Nisan? I mean, I did win, you know? Sayori glared at her with passion of hatred, her Sharingan activated. That incestuous hussy, she thought. Naruto watched Naruko's weak attempt at a flirt and spoke. I guess you did all right. Not get away from me. Fucking weirdo. That made her smile bright. Well, in that case, Naruto-kun, do you want a dash? No. Beat it. Kichiro snapped at her. Yeah. Beat it. No Michael Jackson, bitch. Naruto sighed. His fox familiar was getting too familiar with the real world. Naruko frowned before she moved to her family, where Kushina waved at him and he responded with a middle finger, not caring about her feelings. Soon the next battle was to be announced, and it was a rather annoying one, as it was Ino Yamanaka versus Sakura Haruno. It ended with a draw, but the fight felt longer than ever. These two were one of the worst ninja he had ever seen. It was actually kind of cute, which would always loop around to being pathetic. The fight started off with simple banter that usually goes on between the two about how both girls love Sasuke and his idiot little brother, Menma. It was kind of disturbing as they both vowed to have both boys to themselves rather than just split the two for one another. Sakura would go after Sasuke and Ino goes for Menma, but no, they must have it all, and it was gross. Soon they began to attack, and the taijutsu was actually better than he thought but was still trash. They hadn't upgraded from the simple academy-style taijutsu, which is the Jonin sensei's fault too, as it was their job to train them. Ino decided to use a jutsu from her clan as an attack jutsu, which, in Naruto and Shikamaru's opinion, was utterly retarded because it wasn't an attack jutsu, unless it was complemented by an additional jutsu like the Nara Shadow Paralysis jutsu. But somehow she got Sakura with the one attempted jutsu but lost to some sort of thing in Sakura's head. So it ended with taijutsu when the girls claimed they were gonna go serious now, which ended in a double knockout. Final fucking LY. That was too long of a match. You can say that again, Kurama. Like, wow, that was pathetic. Naruto turned to Sayori, who was glaring at the two down there. They made Kunoichi, much less Konoha, look like shit. At least you didn't lose like that. Now then, I would be disappointed. Sayori nodded in agreement. She would be disappointed in herself if she fought like that. The next fight was a tough pill to watch as it had a little bit of history tied to the match. This fight was Hinata Hyuga versus Neji Hyuga. He could feel the sleaze come off of Neji as he made his way down to the arena. His teammates wished him luck, but he ignored them with a sense of arrogance. Hinata gulped as she walked down, knowing she was absolutely not winning this. Team 8 tried their best to encourage her, but it inky fell in deaf ears. Kiba turned to Naruto. Hey, idiot! Naruto sighed and Kichiro growled, as well as Akamaru, as the two pets glared at one another. Their hatred ran deeper than the two humans. What? Inazuka-san. Make sure to cheer for Hinata. That raised everyone on Team 12 curiosity besides Naruto, who only sighed in annoyance. Why should he have to cheer, Kiba? He's not on her team or anything, Yakumo said. Because the Hyuga seems to have infatuation with me. It's rather unhealthy, really. She thinks I don't know of her following me. Sayori frowned. She knew of this as well. Whenever Naruto would used to leave the academy, her eyes would always be on him for the longest. Even in class she would be watching him. So you knew? All along. Why didn't you say anything? Kurenai said as she heard the girl confess about her adoration for the blonde. How he was so strong and brave and how he was everything she wanted to be. Just because she follows me, worships the ground I walk on, doesn't mean I have to like her immediately. What am I? A simp? No, she hasn't even done a single thing to even deserve my attention. Although she was nicer than all of you when we were in the academy, she was still an observer when it came to my mistreatment. She never said anything to anyone who ever abused me. She was a bystander, so why should I cheer for someone who witnessed everything and did nothing for me besides being a creep and watching me when she should have spent time getting stronger? Anko shrugged. The kid did have a point though, even if it was harsh. Yakumo felt kinda guilty because she was kinda the same as Hinata when it came to the treatment of Naruto, but ever since she became his teammate, she treated him better and hit to know him. Sayori still kinda felt like a flaming asshole though because she was one of his bullies, so that pain won't go away. Ever. Kurenai, however, she wouldn't let the matter go. You're being rather harsh, Naruto. Hinata idolizes you. Though I don't know why. You're an idiot, Kiba said. Like your mother when she made you Inazuka, Kichiro shouted. Kiba saw red and moved to attack the fox, but Kurenai and Shino held him in place. If Yuzui mean Kitsune-san doesn't wish to cheer, then you should just leave it at that. Let Hinata figure this one out on her own. Naruto nodded. Shino was always level-headed and fair, along with Shikamaru. The two just settled with a small glare at Naruto before turning back to Hinata's match while the others did the same. Anko turned to her genin. Maybe you were a bit harsh there. Naruto sighed. Maybe, but at the end of the day, fake cheering will only diminish you rather than push you. If I had cheered for her, it wouldn't be from the bottom of my heart. I would just be doing it because I just know her and Team 8 told me to do so. There's a difference. Anko nodded again. He was right. She'd rather have silence than have fake cheering. It was an insult to her ability as a shinobi. The fight began and things weren't going well for the young Hyuga heiress. Neji showed that he was superior to her in the art of gentle fist. He totally demolished her in the fight, which made Naruto feel a bit bad for the girl. She didn't deserve that, and whatever Neji was holding against her, it wasn't fair. Naruto's reason for not really hanging around Hinata because she was a bystander and she was too weak. She doubted herself way too much and it was annoying to him, but the girl was still a sweet person. For Neji to do that was uncalled for. He damn near almost killed her. When she was rolled away on the stretcher, the only thing left on the floor was a hayate and a pool of Hinata's blood. The next match was so the fight some people were shocked to see. Naruto Kitsune versus Yujito ni. Naruto frowned as eyes landed on him and the Kumo kunoichi. She grinned right at him in a sinister type way which kinda unnerved him. You know, I was kinda expecting Kiba, you know? But this is a surprise. Don't let your guard down around her kit. She's Matatabi's container. Remember, you're limited here. Everyone is watching. You can only use about 50% of your power because you can't use with style while she is in full range of her jutsu. Be smart here. I know Kurama. I got this. If I don't, I have to play family with them, he thought, glaring at the Uzumaki family. Good luck, Naruto-kun, Yakumo said with a smile. You got this, Gaki. Anko smiled. If you don't win, I'll rape you with my snakes. That's too far, Anko-sensei. Sayori lost and you didn't say that to her, Naruto exclaimed before getting a punch across his face by said Uchiha. Idiot. Don't remind her. The blonde fox summoner had just rubbed his cheek while Sayori calmed down. You got this, Naruto-kun, she said. Naruto smirked. Oh, trust me, I will win. You better. The Uchiha smirked back. Win for the both of us. He nodded with a smile as he walked down the balcony to the stairs. Yakumo and Anko turned to the Sayori, whose eyes were glued to his back. So, Naruto-kun, huh? The sensei said, getting the Uchiha to blush tomato red. Stop it. Naruto made his way to the arena while Kichiro smiled. So, let's kick some ass. Oh no, you come out when I tell you to come out. I'm pack leader, remember? Kichiro begrudgingly nodded his fox head. Naruto moved to Yujito and stared at her. Give me a good fight, will you? Unlike your siblings, you seem strong. That raised curiosity from the fox summoner. You fought them? Yujito nodded. Yep. Though they were good, they still lost. Naruto frowned. Well, fear not. I'm nothing like them, he said as he stood in his fox stance. Minato and Kushina and Jiraiya were focused on the match ahead. This is the chance to see how powerful Naruto is and see what to train Menma in, Jiraiya thought. Kushina clenched her fists. Take that Kumo slut down, Sochi. She hurt your siblings. Make her pay and show her the Uzumaki way. Naruto, be careful. She's a Jinchuriki like your brother and sister. Ready yourself, son, Minato thought. Menma looked at Naruto and frowned. Let's see what you can do against an opponent who even I couldn't beat. Loser. Naru and I. Take that bitch down for messing with your sister. Naruko thought. Hayate looked between the two and with his raised hand, he made a chop motion. Begin! Yujito charged in at Naruto and the two go at it with taijutsu. With her palm, she sent a strike for Naruto's neck which he evaded and blocked the one going for his solar plexus. She's trying to knock me out in one blow. Her style is crazy fast. I need to be careful, he thought as he jumped back a bit, but Yujito kept her pressure on Naruto, though he has yet to go on the offense. She jumped up, her body in the air as she twisted herself crazily fast and aimed a powerful kick to Naruto, who caught her leg and threw her. She spun gracefully and landed on all fours. Wow, she's really agile and flexible. Kichiro groaned. Now? Naruto frowned. Not yet. Yujito smirked as she watched Naruto analyze her. You're good. I can see you are better than those two. You'll make this interesting. Naruto said nothing but glared at her hands and feet as she grew claws. What the fuck? He mumbled. He pulled out his sword and stood on his kenjutsu stance now. Yujito smiled. Ha! Well, what do you know? Good with a sword too. I got a good opponent, she said and charged at him. Naruto charged too, blocking her one hand but was left with a nasty gash on his stomach, almost where Kichiro was hiding in the Hayori. Yujito continued her assault as she used her foot to slash Naruto's left leg. Arg! He yelled before being kicked to the wall. Naruto made sure to land on his back as to not crush his companion. His chest and leg were stinging as he felt his blood drop to the floor. Her taijutsu became even more deadly now that she used her claws. Naruto looked down. You okay, buddy? Kichiro frowned. Question is, are you okay? The kid whimpered. Naruto smiled. I've been better but not dead, so I'll live. Yujito came charging in on the interaction, but Naruto slammed his sword down and ran through hand seals. Fire style. Fireball jutsu, he shouted. Shooting a rather massive-looking ball of fire directed her way. Yujito was fast enough to jump over the fireball to allow it to hit the wall behind her, only to run into Naruto, who had his sword at the ready with chakra glowing on the weapon and went for a fast strike. Yujito tried to block it with one of her claws, but Naruto's attack was powerful, breaking through her claws and sending a large gash to her upper body. Yujito landed on the ground on her back but rolled to avoid Naruto as he landed on the ground holding his sword at her. The bystanders were at shock. Whoa, when did Naruto get so good? Choji said as he kept eating a bag of chips Asuma had given him. He's not as good as Sasuke-kun, Sakura and Ino shouted. Troublesome. You're right. He's better than Sasuke, Shikamaru said, getting the ire of the girls. Kakashi was impressed. To have the ability to channel chakra to a weapon at the level that Naruto is showing is at least Jonin. That's really impressive. Asuma turned to Anko. Anko, what the hell are you teaching these genin? The snake mistress smiled. Haha, they're my genin, so it's my secret. Don't you worry. My genin will steal this whole exam. Just you wait and see. Kakashi, I smiled at her. But one of your students lost already. Surely you can't be that cocky. Sayori hung her head while Anko glared at him. She hated Kakashi and his slick little attitude. Minato watched with awe. Amazing Naruto, he said. Proud his son was so strong, which only hurt in the end because he didn't contribute to his son's growth. Kushina smiled and shouted. My Sochi is a kenjutsu genius. That's my son. Naruto on the arena only groaned at the annoying woman's cheering. He ignored her to see the wounded Kumo Jinchuriki as she clutched her chest as she bled. Gee, good strike, she said before suddenly her wounds began to heal. But you'll have to do better than that, Naruto-kun, she said as she ran through hand seals. Rodent hairball, she shouted as the blue flames of mouse-shaped hair was flying out of her mouth as Naruto began to frown. The hell is this? He shouted as the hairballs came flying at him. Ni-san, run, Naruko shouted. Naruto frowned as he took her word of advice as he doubted his mud wall would be effective. He moved as fast as he could around the area, avoiding the targeting fireballs. He actually, however, did manage to quickly create a shadow clone to evade the oncoming fireball by having the clone pull him out of the way at the last second before the just hit him. Yujito grew annoyed when she saw Naruto stand in front of her. It only pissed her off even more to know that he was only holding back. The look on his face suggests so, as she had been throwing damn near everything she had at him and he just countered it. Though he was a bit roughed up, she knew he could continue fighting. She grew pissed off as red chakra began to pour out of her system. The Kumo team sighed. Well, Brat did well. It's over now, Karui said. Yeah, it's over, Omoi said. Tamari frowned. How so? Naruto-kun is controlling this fight. Because, Gaara said with a mischievous grin. That girl down there is like me. A monster. Mother wishes for her blood, he said with his maniac grin, which shook Temari and Kankuro. Back on the ground, Kurama frowned. Look alive, Kit. This is where the real battle begins. I know. What should I do? She's more refined than Naruko is, and is going into a state that was much more dangerous than she was. Kurama thought for a while before giving his most intelligent advice. Yeah. Run and dodge for your fucking life. What the hell, Kurama? Believe it or not, without your wood style, there's no way you have a chance against her now. Not when she pulled out the big guns. You can still catch her off guard and hit her with some of the foxfire. That jutsu is the only one in your arsenal of elemental jutsu that would hurt her. Naruto nodded as he saw her go into her version 2 state as her chakra began form around her like a cat. Naruto looked at her with a bit of fear. She looked hellish and inhuman. Okay. Just keep your distance and you'll be fire. He received a powerful punch that made him cough blood. The force was so strong that he was launched back, but Yujito with her newfound power was fast enough to find herself behind Naruto to kick him up in the air. Naruto was in excruciating pain, but he nearly blacked out when he felt an enormous blow to his whole body when Yujito used her chakra hands that were bigger than the human body to slam him to the floor, creating a huge crater and devastating shock wave. Sayori and Yakumo looked down in tears as they saw what happened, but the Uchiha was damn near bawling. Naruto, they shouted. Anko was green as she was just speechless. She just witnessed her student just get murdered. Kushina and Naruko were calling for blood as they witnessed their son/brother killed in front of their eyes while Minato was holding it together, but in his eyes, you saw the water lingering. The smoke cleared as the demonized Yujito was standing above an unmoving Naruto. Sayori was watching in pure agony as her Sharingan spun to life and acquired its third tomo, but the tears kept coming. When she looked at the body though, she was shocked. WW what? She said with her voice still shaky. Now! A voice called out as the Naruto by Yujito disappeared. Around Yujito, tons of Narutos were around her as they had been transformed into the debris of the arena, and all of them slammed their hands on the ground. Earth-style mud wall. They all yell and soon formed a 30 feet tall walls that cornered her. Above the prison was the real Naruto as he went through several hand signs. Now! Kichiro. Wind style. Great vacuum sphere. Kitsune style. Kitsune by no jutsu. With the combination, the foxfire had grown enormous, but the wall's earth contained the jutsu as Yujito burned in there. Arg ga! She screamed as she burned. He only stopped when he saw her faint and he gave the jutsu a rest. Below him was a black crater with Yujito's burnt body down there in the center. The walls fell as the shadow clones released it, before disappearing themselves. Naruto saw her there unmoving. Did I dash? No, I can still feel Matatabi in there. She's rushing to save Yujito though as she's completely knocked out. You did it, Kit. You're lucky though. If she was able to transform fully, I doubt you would have won with style. Oh, thank goodness, Naruto said to himself as Hayate moved to the ring. He put a mirror in front of Yujito's nose, only to see it turn foggy, indicating she was still breathing. Due to clear knockout, the winner is Naruto Kitsune. It was silent as the match grew very intense. Minato smiled as he wiped his eyes from the lingering tears. That's my son. Way to go. Marvelous fighting. He's almost like his old man. Naruto made his way slowly to the contestant area where his team were. He walked into Team 9 first. Lee jumped right in front of him. Spectacular fighting. Naruto-kun truly remarkable. Your youth is brimming to the top. Guy was the same as he gave him the nice guy pose. Well said, Lee. That really was amazing. Neji just scoffed at him. Well, he's not a total failure the academy made him out to be. But against me, he's still fated to lose again and again. Tenten smiled at him. Good job. Naruto smiled and nodded as he passed them and made it over to Team 8 but passed them too, adding to Kiba's hatred. WWL. He did all right, but an idiot is still an idiot. I bet I could have taken him. Right, Akamaru. The dog barked but Shino spoke. Don't gas yourself up for failure, Kiba. You know as well as I do, Naruto would have defeated you. Rather easily, might I add. Kiba growled. Shut up, Shino. You're supposed to be on my side here. Finally, he made it to his team. What did he receive? 3 synchronized punches to the skull. What the hell was that for? For scaring the literal crap out of us. Yakumo shouted, but her smile showed that she was happy he was alive and that he won. Damn it, Gaki. It would have been bad to have one of my students die in the exam. An exam that I was hosting too. It would tarnish my reputation, she said with a sort of tone in her voice. Naruto smirked. Just admit it, Anko-sensei. In the amount of time you knew us, you've grown attached to us. I dare even say, you love us. Shut up. Don't say such a thing out loud or I'll cut you with a razor and lemons. Naruto smiled. Yeah, you got dash. Sayori just jumped into him and hugged him. You idiot. You had me so scared. Naruto was shocked while Kichiro jumped out the pocket and jumped on Anko's shoulder. The 3 giggled / yipped in glee as the 2 genin held each other. I'm sorry was all Naruto said before the 2 let go of each other. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna rest as Yujito cracked 3 of my ribs and broke my foot. Not to mention I'm kinda still bleeding from the cuts I got so. Anko saw that indeed her genin was severely injured. Anko groaned. Only you, Naruto, would move as if you have no injury at all. Come to the infirmary. What? I want to watch who makes it to the finals. And have you bleed out all over the floor. Idiot. That's gross, I don't want to see that. Come on. Don't argue with your sensei. Naruto pouted as he turned to his teammates. Come to my room later and tell me exactly who makes it. The 2 nodded and watched as Naruto disappeared along with Anko. Yakumo turned to Sayori, who was heavily blushing cause she knew exactly what Yakumo was going to say. Don't talk or we fight, the Uchiha said, getting Yakumo to nervously giggle. Jiraiya watched as Naruto disappeared with a frown and turned to Minato and Kushina. He's more powerful than I thought. Thank God. He didn't fight Menma, otherwise it was game over. Kushina nodded. Naruto single-handedly put down the raging Jinchuriki. That was something a genin shouldn't be able to do. Minato nodded. His son was amazing. Now all we need is for Menma to win his match and then we can train him to beat Naruto. Win the bet and get him home with us. Kushina said ecstatic. Jiraiya nodded with a smirk and Minato smiled too, but he just kept thinking. Naruto. This seems wrong. To invest everything in Menma and Naruko and leave you in the dust once again. This is the same thing all over again, like we did all those years ago. I won't let this happen again. I won't. Minato thought, and he knew exactly what to do to try and fix this stupid bet. 12. The training from the unexpected person. Naruto sighed as he pushed in his apartment door and locked it. Kichiro had jumped from his Hayori and walked around. He had just gotten back from the hospital that Anko made him go to, and he felt right as rain. He also visited Yujito in the hospital, and she was almost looking back to normal as her tailed beast was using her chakra to heal her at an impressive rate. She'd be released within the week, and it made Naruto ease himself from worry. He felt that he went a little overboard with that fire jutsu, but she was fine and he was glad. He had just gotten home and began to relax. He knew from Anko that he had at least 1 month worth of training to do, and he needed to prepare though. He had no idea who his opponent was, and it was annoying as hell. He knew the Chunin exams was still going on, but Anko told him to go home and relax. He needed to after the injuries he was given, and while Shizune, one of the top medics in the hospital, fix him at 100%, he needed to rest. So he, instead of arguing with her, he decided to follow her advice and stay home. Besides, if he disobeyed, he felt that she would be around the corner with snakes waiting to be given the order to continue with anal penetration. Naruto shuddered while he laid on the couch, and Kichiro jumped on his stomach to lay there. Haku, who was in his room, came out and smiled at him. "Hello, Naruto-kun. How was the exams?" Naruto smiled at him. "Hey, Haku. It was cool, I guess. I made it to the final rounds. Though I have no idea who I'm up against, so I guess I'm just waiting for the word from someone." Kichiro yipped in excitement as he jumped in front of the ice user and pranced around him. "You should have seen us, Haku. We totally killed it. Yujito never stood a chance." Haku giggled as she picked up the fox and petted him. "I bet you guys were. I would have loved to see it. Maybe I'll come see you at the finals in the stadium. Everyone at work was talking about it the other day. They say so much talented genin this year, and they are curious who will be at the top at the end." Naruto smirked. "Yeah, well, this turned out more interesting than I originally thought. There are a few people I wish to fight in there." Haku put down the kit and moved to the kitchen to make some evening tea. "Oh really? Who might they be?" "Gaara of the Sand. He sparked my interest since I first saw him in our village. He holds Shikaku the Sand Spirit," the one-tails Kurama said. "He as insane as he is sleep-deprived. He is something I need to watch out for." Neji Hyuga is another one. "He's a danger close type of person, so taijutsu is off-limits the way I am. Ninjutsu is the way to go, but even then, I need to be quick. He's incredibly fast. He and that Rock Lee kid will give me some trouble." They both managed to make it. Haku nodded his head in understanding. "So what kind of training will you?" Naruto shook his shoulders. "That is something I don't know yet. I have to summon Takeo-sensei and Seo-sensei on what to learn. Also, I remember Kurama saying he wanted to teach me something." Fuck. He remembered. The fox thought lazily. He wanted to sleep, but he had no choice since the blonde will pester him about it. Kichiro jumped on an armchair and sat there. "Maybe we can summon Ka-sama? She can also help with our training." Naruto shrugged his shoulders. She might be up to that, besides it wouldn't hurt to ask, and he missed her. "Dito," Kurama said, thinking of his mate. Kichiro spoke again. "You think that Menma made it to the finals?" Naruto chuckled. "If he did, it was by stupid luck really. But when he's in the finals, I have no doubt he'd be better given my father and godfather are training him while my mother and godmother are overlooking my sister's training," he said in a bit of downcast. He knew he turned them down on training, but he still found himself jealous. Why couldn't that have been him too? Haku sighed as he came out and put a cup of tea out in front of the blonde. He sat on the couch in front of him with a small smile. "Listen, Naruto, I know your history with the Uzumaki family is a bit much and you may never have a relationship with them, but just know that you didn't lose." Naruto turned to him in confusion. "You may have less heads under your roof, but you have a family nonetheless. You have Kichiro and the fox summons, and now you have me. A weird bunch, but it's still something. You're not alone, Naruto-kun. he smiled innocently. Kichiro yipped in response as Naruto looked at them with a watery-eyed smile. "TT, thanks guys." The two smiled and began to go over some other topics for an hour and a half before he heard a knock on the door. Haku moved to answer it. He opened the door to see Anko, Sori, and Yakumo with bags of barbecue and a special batch of dango that was secured in Anko's hands. "Dinner is served." Yakumo smiled. Naruto moved to the door. "Guys, what are you doing here?" Anko spoke. "Well, we decided to have a team meeting about the ongoing Chunin exams and how this would affect our team meetings and training, but since I nicely asked you to stay here and rest, I've decided to make a little dinner out of this occasion. Hope you're hungry." "Haku-san, of course you are welcome to join us. We have enough food for leftovers." The two smiled as they nodded their heads and helped the group load the food in and set up the table. They even gave Kichiro a little plate on the floor with a nice big plate of cooked steak. Once everyone was sat at the table, they smiled. "Thank you for the food," they shouted in glee as they began eating. Anko smiled. "Okay Gakis, meeting is about to begin, so listen up. Naruto, since you missed it due to having to go to the hospital like an idiot but it's your fault I went in the first place. You made me go." "Shut the fuck up, Gaki. I didn't make you do shit," she said with a sinister grin that the Kitsune boy shut up. "But anyway, you missed the rest of the prelims, so we're here to enlighten you on what you've missed." Sayori spoke after eating her pork. "After your fight, that Tenten girl went up against Temari and lost quite badly. In fact, she never stood a chance. Her fan on her back produces strong wind attacks that can be similar to a damn tornado, so I'd say watch out for the girl in the finals." Naruto nodded, storing this information for later in the event he ended up fight her. "Next was your brother Menma." "Ha ha ha ha." Sayori laughed while Yakumo joined in and Anko smirked. "I'm sorry Naruto, but it was just so bad. Like it was so lucky that he won, but just how he did it was just..." "Ha ha ha." Yakumo laughed. Naruto raised his eyebrow while Haku asked the question that was on his mind. "What did he do?" He farted in Kiba's face. He farted. The funny part was, Kiba's mouth was wide open. "He ate it." Sayori laughed. Naruto sat there in shock before he busted out laughing too. Kiba ate wind? That was ingenious. Now he really wished he was there to witness the glory of Kiba Inuzuka eating a fart was glorious. Anko sighed. "Kids. They laugh at the weirdest things. Anyway, Menma made it to the finals, so be ready to fight him. I don't know what training your family will give him and Naruko, but just be ready you too. Also, Shikamaru made it as well as that Gaara character. Watch out for them, especially Gaara. Also that Kumo-nan with the gray hair. What's his name? Omoi Anko-sensei? Yes, thanks Yakuchan. Anyway, Omoi will also be competing since he has beaten the red-haired chick from Kumo. He fights in Kenjutsu, so I would watch out for him. Naruto, since you were his first opponent." Naruto nodded. Now he knew what was coming towards him. He turned to Yakumo with a smile. "Well, if all goes according to plan, maybe we'll be fighting each other in later rounds." Yakumo blushed slightly but smiled nonetheless. "Why yeah, that's right. And I vow to beat you too." Naruto smiled. "In your dreams." Anko smiled. "Now for your training. Like I said, we have 1 month, so if any of you wish for my help, I am here. That includes you too, Sayori. Just because you're not in the finals doesn't mean you get to slack off. Train as well. Now, who wants to train with Anko-sensei?" "Naruto-kun?" The boy looked sheepish as he picked up Kichiro, who was pitting on the bone of his steak. "Actually, I'm going to train with my summons, sensei. I'll be okay for the month." Anko nodded. "And I'll be working with my clan again, so no thanks on the training," Sayori said. Yakumo nodded. "Yes, I need some more taijutsu training from you, Anko-sensei. I also want to learn more jutsu for my element. I'll also be training in more with my clan as well, so..." Anko nodded and smiled. "Don't worry, we'll work something out. Here are the matchups that I have gotten." She opened a scroll to see the results. First match, Menma Uzumaki versus Neji Hyuga. Second match, Sasuke Uchiha versus Gaara of the Sand. Third match, Shino Aburame vs Kankuro of the Sand. Fourth match, Shikamaru Nara vs Temari of the Sand. Fifth match, Naruto Kitsune vs Omoi of Kumo. Sixth match, Yakumo Karama vs Naruko Uzumaki. Seventh match, Dosu of the Sound vs winner of the first match. Naruto nodded his head. This seems about right. Anko smiled. All right, now that I have said what I needed to say, time to fully stuff our faces. The group began to eat even more than before, having said all the important stuff. Meanwhile, at the Namikaze estate, Menma and Naruko was sitting in front of their mother, Tsunade and Jiraiya. It was time that they began discussing the two children's training. Where is Minato? He should be here by now, Jiraiya said. Tsunade rolled her eyes. Beats me. He's your student. You know, the fastest man alive, yet he's late. Kushina frowned. Where was Minato? They needed to discuss what they were going to train the kids. Soon, in a flash, Minato appeared in the house with a smile. Sorry I'm late. I was held up at the office, he said with a bright, happy tone in his voice. Kushina frowned. Well, hurry it up next time, will ya? This is serious. This is the plan to that we need to be 100% on. We need Naruko back in our home and into his life. Minato nodded his head. She was right. Sort of. He thought as he moved to sit down after removing his Haori. He sat on the armchair while Kushina stood on the right of the chair. Tsunade and Jiraiya were behind the Uzumaki children as the family meeting begun. All right, so we have 1 month to train you two the best we can. I know you don't want to admit it, Menma-kun, but as of now, Naruto completely trumps you and is the better shinobi in terms of skill. That pissed Menma off as he went red with anger. Jiraiya spoke in a joking tone. Oh, Minato's just exaggerating about the brat. He doesn't completely trump you. Minato frowned. No, but he does, Jiraiya-sama. You've seen his match. If you're going to train Menma, be honest about his potential, show him his limits. Forget Naruto, let's remember his first opponent, Neji Hyuga. A truly gifted boy in the art of gentle fist. I won't lie to you, Menma. You made it through the first match with dumb luck. Menma frowned while the room was tense. Minato, you're being too harsh on your son. Yeah, Tuchan. I mean, Menma wasn't horrible. Naruko said, sticking up for her brother. Minato deadpanned. He literally farted in his opponent's face in order to win, he said. Menma began to shout. So what? Hibabaka had it coming. He should have given up against me and he paid the price. Minato sighed. He has emotionally given up on his youngest son. I just hope he won't be totally destroyed when Naruto defeats him. Well, anyway, Kushina decided to change the topic. Naruko, your opponent is a genjutsu user, your ultimate weakness. We'll need to train you in how to break out of it, definitely. Tsunade put her hand on the girl's red hair. And maybe, just maybe if you impress me enough, me and Kushina will show you something. Naruko smiled. That's exactly what she wanted. Yakumo was going down. And you, Menma, will have to work on your taijutsu and ninjutsu, as well as genjutsu, cause so Jiraiya will help you with that. The room went silent. What do you mean, pervy sage? Aren't you gonna help me too? Tuchan? Menma asked. Minato sighed. I can't. I just realized that the Reikage, and Raza, the Kazekage, will be there. I have to make sure that their stay is as comfortable as possible considering the loose treaty we have with both of them. I'll be more busy than I should. Which wasn't a full lie. He had stuff to do for their arrivals, but those can be done with simple shadow clones. To be fair, he didn't think Menma deserved his training as he was still the same spoiled child all back then from his C rank turned a rank mission where he sacrificed a comrade. Thank God she was still breathing. Menma needed a lesson on humility, not more rewards. Unfortunately, his family was willing to sacrifice morals for the greater good in their minds. If it was up to him, he would have Menma and Sasuke suspended as shinobi for a year while doing community service for the Kurama clan, but the council and the Uchiha clan will have his ear for Sasuke, while his wife will have his head for Menma. He sometimes wondered what went on in Kushina's mind sometimes when concerning the betterment of the kids, but he just left it alone. Like his were any better. Kushina probably only let Menma join the exam just to get Naruto back. Naruto, he thought sadly. I know I can't say I have been a good father to you and I deserve the hottest spot in hell for whatever I said and done to you, son. But even so, I won't say I deserve your forgiveness because in honesty I don't. We don't. But that doesn't mean I won't fight for it. I just hope you accept my request. Minato turned to his family and sighed as he saw the disappointment on Menma's face. Don't worry, Menma-kun. Jiraiya is a very competent shinobi, he even taught me. He'll do right by you. I'm sure of it. Menma nodded dejectedly before Jiraiya clapped his hands. Don't worry, Gaki. I'll train you into the dirt. By the time you get back, you'll be as powerful as me. Menma smiled brightly as he shouted. All right, that's what I'm talking about. When do we start? As soon as noon, Gaki, Jiraiya said while Kushina smiled. Well, let's eat dinner, everyone. We have a big day tomorrow. Everyone moved to the dining area but Minato stayed put. Minato-kun, Kushina said, curious as to why he wasn't coming to eat. She made his favorite ramen and everything. Minato smiled as he kissed her forehead. Start without me. I think I left something at the office that needs to be done. Save me some. Okay, love. Before Kushina could reply, he was gone in a flash. The redhead frowned as she walked back to the table. He'll be sleeping on the couch for this. Believe it. First dissing his son, then skipping out on family dinner. He's acting like a little teenager. Just always rebelling. Back at Naruto's residence, his team had finally left while Haku and him were cleaning up. Kichiro had just fallen asleep on the couch while they cleaned up. The two would just clean in comfortable silence as Naruto cleaned the table while Haku washed the dishes. Need any help? A voice said, getting the two shinobi to spring in action. Naruto moved to grab his sword, which was leaning against the wall in the opposite side of him. The figure moved quickly as he snatched Naruto's wrist. Haku moved from the kitchen and threw Sanbon at the intruder. The man easily caught them while the two roommates saw who was in the apartment. How'd you get in here? Naruto sneered at the man. Minato smiled. Well, I have my ways. Naruto glared at the man and snatched his arm back. How the hell did you get in here? Naruto asked one more time, but his anger took hold of him. Minato flinched. I had Jiraiya come in here and plant seals around your apartment. Naruto widened his eyes in shock. So that's why he was here late at night. You had him raid my apartment so you can infiltrate at any given time. Just being the nosy little father that I told you weren't to me. Minato gave a cold short gasp. That one stabbed him harshly. I had to have the illusion that you were safe, Naruto. Naruto's face was in a shape of rage. You also had to have the illusion of a total fuck-up of a father, but that illusion, unfortunately, was reality in check. Minato looked at Naruto with complete sadness. His blue eyes were filled with tears. But Naru take the tags off from wherever Jiraiya put them and get out, the boy said calmly as he took Kichiro, who was still sleeping, and moved towards the bedroom, with an awkward feeling. Haku, I did it again, didn't I? Naruto stopped in his tracks and turned around to see Minato fully crying and sobbing. I keep on failing you, Naruto, said boy, watched in shock as he never seen the man before him in such a wreck. Kushina, yeah, but that sight just pissed him off more because he can see and feel the guilt. It wasn't genuine sadness like the man in front of him. Haku? The ice user turned to him. Naruto, eyes still glued to the weeping Hokage, gave him Kichiro. Take Kichiro-kun to my room, please. Haku did as he was told, as the look in Naruto's eyes was telling enough. He finally had enough holding it in. He left the room with the fox in tow as it was totally out cold from the food he ate. As soon as they left the room, it was just Minato and Naruto. Why are you here? The tone was cold as the question was simple. Wiping his eyes, he turned to him. I came to make you an offer, Naruto. I want to train you for the finals. If Naruto was surprised, he didn't show it. What? Is this some kind of trick? You know the bet Jiraiya made. You'd be training Dash. I know what he did, Naruto, and I say who I offer my training to, Minato said in a proud, confident voice. Kinda shocked Naruto. Minato showing backbone to his sensei and wife. It was crazy but far too late. If that's all, then I decline the offer. Minato flinched but he wouldn't back down. Naruto, please, give me a chance. I wronged you. I should have been there for you when you needed me. I failed you and at the time I didn't even know or even care. You went on in life without the love of your family. It felt like we didn't care or love you at all, which is anything but false. 8 years. Minato looked up at his son, who had angry tears falling from his face. 8 motherfucking years of this. The lack of love, the hatred of everyone and had no one to back me up. And oh one, I spent years thinking it was me, that there was something wrong with me, that I was the fuck up, the failure, the mistake. If the whole village saw the same thing in one person, it had to have been true, right? Full-blown tears were falling down Naruto's face. It only made Minato seem to cry all over again. The reason I'll never forgive any of you is because you all took something from me that I still don't have to this day. Love. Not only the love of a family but the love of me. I have no love for myself. Because if you all didn't love me, how could I love myself? Something was obviously wrong with me. That's why I didn't get any love. Not from you, from Mother, Jiraiya, Tsunade, Menma, Naruko, anyone. Naruto fell to his knees, gripped with pain from his chest. What was wrong with me, huh? No one ever told me what was wrong or how to fix me. All I got was disappointed stares at my very existence. I tried to fit in, to show I was Roth your name and everything, but I just got more disappointment and loathing. You even said that I wish I wasn't your son. Minato choked on his sob. He remembered that very day. I guess that's why I'm so prone to danger. The Hokage looked at his estranged son. I guess in a way, I've been unconsciously looking for a way to die. WW Naruto. You. The thought of Naruto running into death on purpose left Minato torn to shreds mentally and emotionally. His son was so hurt by the neglect of everyone that he didn't even value himself anymore and even went as far as having suicidal thoughts. If Naruto wasn't as strong-willed as he was right now, he'd be short of a son right now. What is wrong with me? Tell me? Naruto. Minato shouted as he grabbed the boy and pulled him into his chest as he cried. No matter what, you matter to me. You hear me. If nothing else, you matter above all else. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you but with me. You hear me. I swear to you with my life no. With everyone's lives here in Konoha and God shall strike us all today right now that you matter to me above all else, Naruto. You matter. Naruto couldn't hold it in anymore as he began to cry too. It took 8 long grueling years for someone to finally tell Naruto that he actually mattered to them. They kneeled there on the floor together, holding each other and crying all night until the sun came up where Haku and Kichiro found them on the floor. Kichiro froze. Why is the Hokage here? Haku smiled. You missed a lot when you were belly up dreaming about mounting a wolf named Akane. You little kid. Kichiro blushed as he ran after Haku into the kitchen, where he was going to make breakfast. Hey, wait a minute. What did you exactly hear? He asked, utterly embarrassed. Haku just laughed as he began to cook eggs and pancakes. The breakfast was beginning to smell as it woke up both Naruto and Minato from the ground. Were we just? I think so. Both were a bit confused, but they also remembered the night. They decided to say nothing as Haku moved to the dinner table. Breakfast is ready, Hokage-sama. Will you be joining us? Minato looked at Naruto, who was just looked at him indifferently. I'd love to, Haku-san. Thank you. He sat at the dinner table across from Naruto as the ice user placed the food to both boys. Thank you for the food, they say as begin to eat. It was incredibly quiet as the group there wasn't saying a word. But Haku knew one thing, he wasn't saying one fuck. Minato sighed. He had to break this silence. Naruto dash. If you think I forgive you for everything, think again. It'll take a lot more than that to get my forgiveness. Minato nodded his head. He understood, especially with the new information he got last night. He doesn't even forgive himself and he never will. But out of everyone, I can safely say you're the closest, Minato-san. Minato looked at Naruto with eyes shocked before they begin to fill with joyful tears. Oh, Naruto, thank you. I will never let you down again. Ever. Naruto looked at him with a blank face. Relax, would you? I said you're closer than everyone else. Not close to getting forgiveness. Min deflated a little, but still he was happy. His son was warming up to him. Okay, Naruto. But still, my offer still stands. I want to train you. Naruto frowned as he was in thought. He originally turned down the man's offer since he was still upset with him, but now, with a clear head, he was thinking the training could be useful. The man was one of the most powerful men in the world. He would be foolish to turn down his offer. What would we be learning? Minato smiled. Well, I would teach you the basics of my taijutsu style dash. Pointless. I already have a style that fits me, obviously. Dejected, Minato kept going. Well, that's okay. Then maybe I can teach you some Fuinjutsu dash. Also pointless. I mean, Fuinjutsu is a good art to learn, but I have a month here, and my calligraphy isn't the best, so we'd be spending the time fixing that before we learn anything basic. Minato looked confused. What was he gonna teach Naruto then? Naruto smirked. But I believe there is other things I wish to learn from you, as both of them would be better learned from you. Minato turned to look at Naruto in confusion. What do you mean? Naruto spoke up. When are you free? Minato frowned. I have the weekends off because I'm so busy with setting up meetings with other Kage. What's going on, Naruto? Naruto said nothing as he bit his thumb and ran through hand seals. Summoning jutsu. He slammed his hand on the ground, and when the smoke cleared, Luna showed up. Well, hello, Naruto-kun. It's been a while, hasn't it? Naruto smiled. It sure has, Luna-ka-chan. Ka-sama. Kichiro yipped as he ran to his mother. My kid, how are you? Seo-chan has been telling me you've grown strong under their guidance. Kichiro smiled. Yep. Luna smiled as she saw Minato there, and her eyes went cold. Minato gulped as he felt the room went cold as she began to show her sharp teeth. So you're the one who caused my Naruto-chan so much pain and heartache. Minato began to sweat as well before Naruto spoke. It's all right, Luna-ka-chan, we've come to an understanding. I actually summoned you to ask if we can begin my Jinjutsu training. We can add it to the Kenjutsu training with Takeo-sensei. Luna widened her eyes before she smiled. Well, if you wish, I'll discuss it with them, but isn't there anything else you wish to learn, Naruto-chan? Naruto nodded. Yep, my jutsu arsenal should be fine for now. I need to up my Jinjutsu though. After seeing Yakumo, I have to be ready to at least disable them better. Luna nodded. Right, I'll work it out with Takeo and Seo. Summon us in about 2 days, Naruto. She licked Kichiro's face with love and then Naruto's. It was great seeing you again. Loves? Luna turned from smiling at her kits to full-on snarling at Minato, who jumped back. If you ever hurt Naruto-chan again in any way, shape, or form, I'll have my clan raze this village to the ground, starting with your family. Clear? Crystal, Minato quickly said, making the white fox smile sweetly, but it wasn't anything but sweet. Well then, I'm off. With that, the fox left in order to prepare for what they will teach Naruto. Said boy was looking at Minato. Naruto, what is it exactly that you want to learn? Naruto frowned. Well, for one, I wish to learn the body flicker technique, but the reason I asked you, and not just anyone who is Chunin or higher, is because I want to learn it at a level where it's combat ready. Minato widened his eyes as he heard what he just said. Naruto, what you're talking about could take months, even years. To be that fast, it has to be balanced with quick reflexes as well, and that takes time. Naruto frowned. I know, Minato, but I'm not trying to be at your level in a month. All I need is for it to be combat ready, I said. I just need your help on my speed with the jutsu and overall. That's all. Minato sighed as he thought about it. It won't be like we're starting from scratch. Naruto is impressively fast in his own right. It's not impossible with the month that we're given. He thought before he nodded his head at Naruto. Okay, Naruto, I can help you with that. Now, what else did you want to learn? Naruto smirked as he spoke the words that left him smiling inwardly, and Haku, who was minding his own business until he heard Naruto say it. I want to learn the Rasengan. 13. Training time. The secrets of the 4th Hokage's ultimate jutsu. Time skip next week Monday. Naruto woke up to Kichiro yipping in his ear. "Get up, Naruto. It's time to train," he shouted as he jumped off the bed. Naruto sighed. His fox was too energetic at times, especially when it's the morning, but inwardly. He knew he was right though. This month, he needed to put himself through the ringer if he wanted to get stronger. Lord knows whatever that Omoi character is doing to get stronger. He knows he's not waiting for him, that's for sure. Yeah. Keep your fur on, you little mutt," he said in his groggy voice. He did his usual stretching in the morning to loosen up his joints before he moved to the door of his room and exited with the hyper fox. Naruto made it to the kitchen to see Haku cooking up a storm. "Good morning, Haku-san. You didn't have to cook so much today. Sometimes, I'd wish you'd let me do the cooking." Haku smiled at Naruto with a heartwarming smile. "Good morning, Naruto-kun, and please. This is the least I can do to repay you for letting me stay here with you. Besides, you have a big day ahead of you. You need your breakfast," he said before as he was putting the finishing touches on the food. "Breakfast should be ready shortly. Go wait at the table." Naruto chuckled and nodded as he moved to the table. Haku was such a kind soul. As Naruto sat down, Kichiro jumped on his lap. "Anyway, so what jutsu will I be learning?" "Nothing right now, our combination is fine as it is, Kichiro-kun. We don't need to fix what isn't broken. I can't rely on you the whole fight, you know," the fox pouted. "What's that supposed to mean?" Naruto petted him. "I'm saying you're on standby during the fight until I say so, Keikun. Don't worry, you're a wind type and I'm pretty sure Omoi is a lightning style user. I might need your help more than you think. Your wind is a potential threat to him, so be on standby." Kichiro smiled. "Yes, sir," he yipped. Naruto laughed as he petted him, getting a pleased look from his face. Haku came in with 3 plates balanced on his arms perfectly. He placed down his and Naruto's plate of pancakes while giving the little fox his meal, which again was a steak. "Haku-chan, you spoil me so well," Kichiro said before attacking his food with gutso while Haku watched him with a little chuckle. "So, Naruto-kun, what will you be doing for training again?" Naruto cut into his pancakes and ate the piece he cut before speaking. "Well, for my training this month, I'll be working on my Kenjutsu and Genjutsu on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays while I work with my speed and jutsu with Minato on Fridays. Saturdays while I take Sundays off to rest," he listed his schedule. "Wait, Kit, remember, I still need to teach you a new technique. It'll help with your taijutsu actually. It utilizes the foxfire you have, but on a different scale," Kurama said, which Naruto nodded his head with a smirk. "Oh yeah, he'll be a beast in these exams." Haku smiled. "Wow, you'll have a busy month. I'll be rooting for you in the exams. Just count on that, Naruto-kun." Naruto smiled. "Thanks, Haku-san. Honestly, you'll be one of the few that do," he said sadly. Kichiro, sensing his master's sadness, spoke. "Oh please. Like we need a bunch of fake-ass people cheering us on. To be honest, if they're booing us, they're just hating cause we kicked ass and looked good doing it. Don't worry about those loser civilians, Naruto-kun. They fucking suck. They're civilians. They don't matter to you in the long run." "My Kit has a point, Naruto. They don't matter to you. I've lived by a motto, Naruto. It goes, fuck civilians. They aren't worth millions. They don't matter, really they don't." Naruto laughed. Only Kurama could come up with that saying. "Yeah, you two are quite right. Thank you," he said as he kept eating his food while Haku smiled and laughed while listening to Kichiro for his latest plan on getting at Akamaru again, which involves little collar bells and razor with a really cool haircut design for the pup. That poor dog, Naruto, Haku, and Kurama thought as Kichiro had that fox grin, planning something evil. At the Hokage's office, Minato was seen at the desk, thinking about Naruto's training. He secretly had a clone go out and fetch the material needed for Naruto's endurance and speed training as well as the objects needed for the Rasengan. He just needed to be discreet. He had a feeling that Jiraiya was doing the same thing. He knew that the Toad Sannin was planning to teach Menma the Rasengan as well during their time at Mount Myaboku. He took Menma there in hopes of training peacefully and not being spied on in case Naruto had any foul ideas in hopes of stealing techniques. While Minato knew Naruto wouldn't do such heinous acts, he knew there was no way Menma was winning at this moment of time. Menma, unlike his two siblings, lacked the skills to be a ninja. It's not like he can't get better, but he just lacked that skill that Naruto and Naruko possess, so it takes exponentially longer to teach Menma things, which is not so bad. So if Jiraiya wants to teach him the Rasengan, he has no problems with it. It is his birthright to know it, but unless Menma learns to mold his chakra well enough, he won't be able to use it effectively. And while this is happening, Naruko is training with Tsunade and Kushina. He shuddered his shoulders at the thought of his wife at the moment. I wonder when she'll stop being furious with me? He thought out loud. When he came home that morning from Naruto's, she was waiting in the kitchen with a frying pan, waiting for him so she can strike. She got him good is all he's gonna say, as the rest of it was a foggy memory. He vaguely remembered. She was mega pissed that not only did he not come home that night, he humiliated his youngest son and hurt his feelings. Minato scoffed at the loud screeching of his wife. While he felt bad about Menma's feelings, all he said was the truth. He had faith in his children, no doubt about it. He knew that in given time, his children will become a force to be reckoned with, but at the moment, Naruto stands out on top right now with Naruko and Menma behind him in every large gap. The things Naruto did in his fight shows he's at least Jonin level in capability, where Naruko was at least low Chunin and Menma was mid to high Genin, and that's just because of his reserves. Minato laid back in his chair when he noticed a picture on his desk. He looked at it more closely to see a family picture of him, Kushina, Menma, Naruko, and Naruto. What's wrong with this picture was that everyone besides Naruto was smiling. Naruto himself just had a blank look, but in his eyes, he saw there was pain and anger there if just looked on longer. It made him grip the picture tightly, almost breaking the frame. All those years wasted. No more Naruto. No more will I disregard you. If only I had given you just a little bit of my time, just a tad bit more, just to let you know you mattered, you'd be at home with us. Still, you turned out so strong. I'd bet you'd say it was for the better that it ended up like this, he chuckled hollowly. I won't throw away this chance to make this right. The others may think they're on the right path, but we'll see at the exams. They won't know what hit them, he said before he continued writing paperwork with a new fire under him as he waited for Friday to come, the first day he will be training his son. He was curious, though, as to how he would stack up. He had the experience of training his siblings. While it wasn't bad, he just felt exhausted at times. It wasn't like they were idiots, so to speak, it was just Menma was just too busy picking fights with his sister and getting into petty competitions with her rather than actually training, and vice versa with Naruko, but she had the complex of daydreaming about some boy he never knew about, but all she said was that he was around her age and she'll make it happen, whatever the hell that meant. But with Naruto, he bet that he'll have a better time with him. Get ready, son. It won't be easy. With the Uzumakis, Menma was leaving the Uzumaki household with Jiraiya in tow, as well as Kushina, Naruko, and Tsunade waving them off. Be back soon, Menma Baka. I want you there so I can take you down and win. Menma smiled. In your dreams, Naruko. You have no chance once I come back. It would be over for you. You and that idiot of a brother. Jiraiya smiled as he patted his godson's head. You bet, kid. That brat won't know what hit him once he figures out that he's fight the Toad Sage's apprentice. And once he sees the Slug Sanin's apprentice, he'll definitely turn around and run, chikening out like the coward he is. Don't worry, brats. It's an easy win. Tsunade laughed. Kushina smiled as she moved to Menma. Now be safe. Listen to your godfather, but not too much, as he is a pervert, so watch out for him as well. If you read his book and I find out, I'll kill you and him simultaneously, you hear? She said in one sweet, innocent, motherly breath that sent chills up Menma and Jiraiya's spine. Once he shook out the fear, Menma looked around and sighed. So, he's not coming to see me off? He said dejectedly. The adults looked down at him and felt pity. Well, Minato is a busy man, kid. He's the Hokage. I'm sure he wanted to be here but couldn't, as he's probably in a meeting. Don't worry, we're only gone for a month. You'll see him at the finals and he'll see how powerful you are. Jiraiya encouraged him. Kushina smiled. Master Jiraiya is right, Menma-kun. Just keep that same energy and train hard. We're all dependent on your win, as this will be the win that gets Naruto back. Menma frowned as that loser's name was mentioned, but just let it die. Why did they care about that loser so much? Why couldn't they see his win for him and just praise him? They made it seem as if his win is only good for them as they have a stupid bet placed on him. Like his skills didn't matter. Yeah, whatever. Can we go now? He said coldly to his mom as he moved to his godfather, who was oblivious to this. Right? See you in a month, you all. With that, Jiraiya summoned a toad to reverse summon the two to the mountain, leaving the rest of the family. Kushina clenched her fist as she glared to the ground. That bastard Minato. I'll beat him into a pulp for not being here. Naruko sighed. She worried for her father's health after her mother is done with him. With Naruto, summoning jutsu. With a puff of smoke, out came Luna with Takeo waiting on the spot. Well, good afternoon, Naruchan, Kichikuin. And hello to you too, my love. My mate. You look as beautiful as the day I met you. Naruto shook his head in surprise while Kichiro was confused as hell. What the fuck just happened? Who was his mother talking to? Whoever it was, he didn't pass Kichiro's test in order to date his mom, so he was a little on edge. I'm sorry, Lunaka-chan, but how are you able to communicate with Kurama? Luna smiled. It's a mate link, Naruto. Whether it's through our mouths or thoughts, I can communicate with Kurama as long as I have contact with his soul. The reason I didn't know he was alive until I met you was that his chakra was all gone. I couldn't sense him anymore. So my guesses were that he was dead or sealed up. Luckily, it was the latter. But the type of seal he was in, it interfered with the seal, so we couldn't sense one another anymore. Naruto nodded. It did make sense. Then it hit Naruto. Wait! So all those times that I was training with Lunaka-chan in the past, she would stutter and blush a bit, damn near forgetting the lesson. That was you mentally talking to her? You were telepathically sexting? Kurama blushed before bursting out. Shut the fuck up. You don't know how long it's been for me to get a little action, you hear? I'm allowed to be sexually attracted to my mate when I see her through you. You know? Oh wow, Kurama. Who knew your ancient furry ass can sext? It's not sexting, you asshole. It's just a heated conversation. That's all, the fox said before he cut the link before it got worse for him. Naruto smirked before Kichiro spoke. What do you mean? So you can talk to Tusama all this time? I want to talk to him. Luna smiled. She knew that any moment his father was brought into the picture, the small red fox wanted a relationship with his father. Well, there is a Bondong ritual that allows a familiar to enter deep into the summoner's psyche, so it may be possible through that, but at a later date, Kichikuin. Now, we must begin our training. Takeo, who had been silent during the family ordeal, spoke. So, what's your training schedule? Naruto told him of what he made up. Takeo nodded. All right, that's acceptable. Now let's get to work. My queen, if you may, please proceed to the human henge, ma'am. Luna sighed. Oh, stop being such a square, Takeo-san. And I know what I'm doing. She transformed into a beautiful fox form that made Naruto blush immediately. She was the most beautiful woman he's ever seen. Kurama saw how Naruto was gazing at his mate. Keep your eyes in your fucking head before I kill you. That's my booty. Right? Sorry? Fuzzy Nuts. My name is not Fuzzy Nuts. Luna smiled at Naruto's dumbfounded face. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Naruto-kun. I'm flattered, but you're too young for me and I'm a married fox. Naruto blushed even harder before he slapped himself. Oh, okay. Let's just get training. She smiled as Takeo got in his human form too and grabbed his Bakken. Split up, Naruto. Make 50. Naruto nodded and made the 50 clones before they broke up and made his way to Luna. Okay, let's talk about Genjutsu, Naruto-kun. Before we begin, tell me what it is. Genjutsu is one of the main jutsu categories which uses chakra from within us. Unlike ninjutsu, the effects of genjutsu are not real, being only sensory illusions experienced by those who fall victim to it. Luna nodded. Very well explained. Now usually we would use the normal precise genjutsu, but you are a different case. We foxes can manipulate anything at will. We are tricksters, it's in our blood. I will teach you how to use your chakra to create illusions. Alright. So how do I do it? Luna smiled before she moved to slap something off Naruto's shoulder. This of course confused him as she just did it without even a warning. Lana kissed his forehead. Sorry, Naruchan. I saw a bit of lint on your clothing. I'm a mother first before a sensei. Naruto smiled while Kurama was smirking like the dirty fox he was. Oh my Naruto. I didn't know you were part adhering. Naruto frowned. Part adhering? What the hell? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm not part adhering. Luna tilted her head in confusion. No, you aren't? Well, that's strange. Why are there ants and beetles crawling all over you then? Naruto widened his eyes as he looked down, seeing a bunch of ants in a large number crawling up his arm, making his arm go black from the ants. He them saw with his eyes that a beetle was crawling down on his nose. Ah! Get them OFFFFFFF! He's screaming as he began rolling around in the dirt. Luna and Kichiro, who were watching from a distance, began snickering before they busted out laughing at Naruto freaking out. It got to the point where Naruto stripped to his briefs to get them off him while jumping around, trying to shake them off. Luna decided enough was enough before she released it before Naruto decided to take his underwear off and run around nude. Naruto stopped freaking out and looking at his body, seeing the bugs were gone. It took him a moment to fig-9 it out before he turned to his adoptive mother. Ha ha ha. Very funny, Luna Kaa-chan. Luna smiled. Well, Naruto, I couldn't help myself. You can take a fox out of a prank, but you can't take the prank out of the fox. It's in my blood. Kit. Anywho, what did I just do to you? Naruto sighed. Well, you touched me. Is that when you planted the genjutsu? Luna smiled. Yes. You see, there are different ways to plant genjutsu, Naruto. There are the 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, touch, and sound. We foxes usually go for sight, but that's a technique for when you learn Sage Mode with us since it's more attuned for foxes and natural energy, but there is touch that we rarely use. That's something up your alley right now, and since you have an abundance of chakra, it'll work for you. Naruto nodded his head as he calmed down. With using touch genjutsu, you can touch anyone and anything and manipulate whatever part of the person or any object you touch to your liking, as long as you have your chakra stuck to them. Planting this type of genjutsu is tough against a user of a dojutsu like Sharingan or Byakugan since they can see chakra, but if you use it correctly in battle by using your head and strategize, you could pull one over their heads. Now explain what your opponent knows on genjutsu. Before Naruto can answer, Kichiro goes. Well, Ka-sama, Yakumo from Naruto's team has made the finals and may be a future opponent. She comes from the Kurama clan. She has the ability to control genjutsu on a large scale. She can affect a whole entire arena with a hand sign. Luna whistled. Girl's a prodigy when it's genjutsu. That's insanely hard to do. It makes sense since she's of the Kurama clan. They're known for genjutsu on par with the Uchiha. To beat that, you need a miracle kit. So I'll teach you this and how to break out some high-ranking genjutsu cause the way you were dancing a few moments ago. Aw, shut up. Time skip Friday. Naruto arrived at the training ground he was told to be at by Minato. Training Ground 45, a special training grounds that the first and second Hokage used to use when they were alive. Naruto waited for a bit with Kichiro in silence before the man appeared in a flash. Good morning, Naruto. Naruto nodded his head. Yes, good morning to you, Minato-san. Shall we get started? Minato nodded as he placed a seal on the ground and held a release sign before stuff started popping out of the scroll. Naruto widened his eyes. He couldn't lie, that was cool. Minato scratched his head. Sorry. Carrying them would be easier, but with Kushina, Tsunade, and Naruko snooping around, they would be curious to find the equipment. Naruto nodded, it made sense. With that in mind, I can guess you didn't tell them of our professional relationship? Naruto asked. Minato shook his head. No, I didn't. Though because of that, I had to spend some nights on the couch because Kushina was mad at me. He laughed, but Naruto didn't laugh. That's tough, was all he said before he moved to the weights. These are the weights that Lee had in his match against Gaara. Correct? Sensei told me about this. Minato nodded. Yes, correct. Though Guy went overboard with Lee, but I'll let that slide. You, however, should be okay since we're not going for that extreme level but just fast enough for the body flicker. Now, before we get started on this, let's get on to the Rasengan, Minato said proudly. He was happy to pass this down to Naruto. Minato went over to the equipment and pulled out a water balloon. He picked up two and then tosses one to Naruto. He caught it with slight confusion but waited till Minato explained. Said man smiled. Well, this is the first step of Rasengan. It is rotation. You must learn to spin your chakra in multiple directions at once. Like this. Naruto watched as Minato began to spin his chakra in the water but in multiple different directions, making it look like there was something in there trying to come out before it popped loudly. Minato smiled. Now the trick is to get the chakra in the ball to rotate in multiple directi dash. Asterisk pop. Minato widened his eyes as he watched his son do what he and Jiraiya took months to do. He popped the damn ball in seconds from just one demonstration. His kid was a fucking genius. It was easy enough to figure out since Takeo-sensei gave me crazy demonstrations and chakra control exercises. What's next? Minato was still in utter shock. If Naruto kept up this pace, they could be done training in just a matter of 2 weeks. Fuck a month. WWL, next step comes power, this time with a rubber ball. You'll be using the same technique as the last step but more power and density. This is harder than the first step, so I wouldn't blame you if you got it dash asterisk pop. Oh come the F you son. Are you serious? Naruto chuckled as he threw the remains of the rubber ball. Come on, I'm in a roll. Give me the last one. Minato felt like absolute shit. Fuck 3 years, this kid did it in 3 seconds. Am I a joke to you, Naruto? Is this funny to you? Is that it? Do I matter? Minato, come on. What's the hold up? Minato smirked. The last step has to be the one to get him. This little shit. This genius little shit. This should stump him. If it doesn't, I'm going to run into Naruto's Rasengan and kill myself. He's made me and Jiraiya look like total idiots. Minato thought, inwardly though beside the shame and slight hatred for Haya's son. He was very proud of him. Okay Naruto. The last step is containment basically. You take the first 2 steps and then blend them together but you must contain it into a sphere like this. He pulled out a Rasengan from his left hand while a Rasengan was formed in his right hand into a balloon. What is happening in my left hand is happening in the right as well. Do this and you have completed the Rasengan. Naruto nodded his head as he began to make it but the ball popped in his hand. Damn it. Minato smiled. It's alright Naruto. You did a lot better than I originally thought you would. I'm very proud of you. Naruto blushed slightly from the praise but it died. Yeah. Anyway so, I'll have my clones do this for a while till we get it down perfectly. Anyway about that body flicker. Minato nodded before he began to grab some weights and put them around Naruto's wrists and legs, making him nearly fall to his knees. First we must increase your speed. Run 10 laps around Konoha. Naruto stated at him. You're a goddamn psychopath, Minato Namikaze. Minato smiled. I try to be Naruto. Now move. Naruto sighed before he got up and ran. Minato watched behind him and smiled. You'll be a monster Naruto. I'm sorry Menma but you don't have what it takes to stop Naruto now, he said with a small smile.